All right.
Hello.
It's another show. Scud, long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a few days.
Thanks for being on, Scud.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
For those of you not familiar, shame on you for not watching my other podcast. If you want to know Scud's first part of his history, you have to go to that channel. Everything else with Mover, life with Mover. So now we're going to talk about the rest of his life.
Part 2.
The rest of it.
The rest of the story, as old Paul Harvey used to say. Gonky,
hello.
Are you in the Metrodome? Like, are you in some kind of bubble facility? Are you in the Goodyear blimp, sir? What are you doing?
Yeah, dude, I'm in Ohio, not in my normal restaurant location. So I just did a kamikaze trip up here to pick up some supplies for my trailer park.
Ohio. He's trying to avoid the feds is what's happening.
Yeah, it's witness protection.
I hear the feds don't like the cold, so that's why I'm up north. So
yeah. Well, they're busy at the borders. So
yeah, exactly.
Actually, down here in New Orleans. So Gonky, just stay out of New Orleans, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I know. Oh man.
Okay.
I'm lucky to be here, man. I'm just happy to be here, honestly.
Are those padded walls?
Actually, they are padded a little bit, but they're more for insulation, not to keep me in.
Are you doing martial arts in there? That's when I learned Krav Maga, it was in a dude's garage.
I am in a garage.
Artists. So, that's where most martial artists learn their trade.
Yeah.
It's either a garage or a strip mall.
This is a garage, and this is actually my dad's garage, and this is the only wall I could find that would be acceptable for viewing. So that wouldn't get us in some kind of trouble. So some sort of YouTube jail. There's many jails, but yeah, this is the safest bet. With a layer of blurry
now. After all the case files opened on you.
It was centerfolds, folks. His dad has centerfolds.
Yeah, my 82-year-old dad still has centerfolds.
Pinups from back when it was cool to have pinups.
1962 or whenever it was.
Got all Marilyn Monroe somewhere.
Yeah, no,
cool.
Dude, so yeah, happy to be here. Thanks.
Yeah, happy to have you. And Scud, you will be part of the High Alpha Hooligans.
I am, yes.
check out their channel because they are hooligans that. Why are we high alpha hooligans? Let's explain that to me. We didn't talk about that on the last show because it was illegal.
It's a podcast about the game DCS, and I have no idea.
Whoa,
Whoa, dude!
Whoa!
Oh my
Whoa.
God.
First strike.
Wow!
Were there
Yellow
rules that I
card.
wasn't
Yellow
explaining?
card.
I believe if you call it that, you will get a hate mail to me.
You used
Oh,
the G word. The G word.
Oh, I see what I did.
can't
I'm
call
sorry.
it a
It is
game.
the podcast about the simulator. My bad. I see what I did wrong there.
Right in the name.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Oh, I'm a
Says
gamer, so I'll call it that. I don't care.
Digital combat simulator. It says it right
Simulator.
there.
I know.
Simulation. Well,
Yeah.
cool.
And I don't know where the name came from. We were just throwing stuff at the wall to see what would stick. And high alpha.
Do you like operating at the high alphas?
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah.
B-52 spent a lot of time at high alpha.
No. no,
I
it's opposite. It cruises at like a negative alpha.
Scott, I thought it's because you guys flew mostly the Hornet. Like when I first heard the name, I was like, they probably use the Hornet in DCS like everyone else, or like most people.
That was the first module I flew in the game in the sim. Ooh, I
right.
keep doing it. Yeah. I'll take the heat. Yeah.
Gonky. No, send it to Gonky. He deserves it.
If you send it to Gonky, I'll keep saying it.
Yeah. Gonky gets too much love.
What, man? Come on.
See, I don't know why. It's because he's such a lovable fella. Hey, Gonky.
Yes, sir.
Check this out.
Oh boy. Yeah, it's awesome, man.
That's cool.
Yeah. So this was my buddy.
That was good. It's like
I'm
high
gonna-
quality.
He's got an Etsy shop. I'll put the banner up there, but we'll just put the thing in the. So he got this little machine locally, and he's like, "Hey, mover, I need to sell these cups because there's a lot of them." So I said, "Well, we're always looking for quality suppliers. Well, we're not there yet, but if you want to custom this thing, it's just a dude in his garage, and he flies for the airlines." But he's off right now. So, yeah, check it out. He'll do a custom one. It's a great gift.
Custom one. People
Yeah.
should just get on and buy a mover and Gonky one.
You could put well, we're not there yet. So right now I'm just trying to help him out because we haven't, Gonky hasn't licensed this design to him. So you can have one like this, but not this one.
Mover, how about a signed one from you to the winner of the tournament?
Ooh.
Oh, and then I gotta ship stuff. You're making me go to the post office.
Signed with a show.
It's for kids. It's for charity.
All right.
It's for charity, Mover.
All right,
Come
you don't
on,
have-
dude.
All right, fine. Yeah, yes.
I gotta
If
get off
the
my
winner-
keister.
We'll add that to the thing. The winner will get a signed mover and Gonky that Gonky's going to pay for.
Just make sure you wash that cup, dude, before we mail it.
Not this one.
You know
It's
what?
not this one because we'll put their call sign or whatever, their username, unless it's very offensive. Because you know some of them they put like XXCNXX and then it's like, you know, Nambla or something. Like it's got some weird thing you don't ever want to be in public. So
Scud's got one. No,
No, it's just adjusting the light out. I got nothing.
perfect.
but anyway, yeah. So let's say we're gonna do that.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
They probably
it's
want
good.
you to sign it, not me.
No.
Gonky.
Oh, me?
Gonky sign it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll sign it.
Gonky's famous in Malaysia.
Infamous?
India.
Maybe I'm infamous.
Hey, there's an interesting question. Have you guys ever signed autographs using your call signs? You might have to practice.
That's actually how I sign emails and everything.
I've been
Ever since
signing.
he got it, he's never used anything else.
That way, if I run
Lithos.
into legal trouble, I'm like, Gonky's not my real name. So-
Lithos.
Plausible deniability.
That's right.
Gonky.
I do.
My
live
neck,
with-
dude. I'm dying.
know.
I feel like Batman. I can only move like this.
Oh, dude, I bruised my ribs this weekend. I'm hurting.
Doing what?
The old dirt cycle.
That's cool.
Allegedly.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, allegedly, it was a rough weekend for me and my boys. So we left early because we had a long drive ahead of us the next day. But yeah, I'm good.
How much did you save by doing this?
$2,000. Dude, I tell you, like, I don't know what it is, but every time I called the people, the price got lower, which is weird. I show up here to pay for it. $200 even lower from what they told me. So, however, if you are conversing ChatGPT, the paid version, on how many boxes of roofing supplies will fit in a Nissan Rogue, it's not accurate. So,
Are you going to make
which way? Could you put more in, or was it not
no, dude. It's like it'll all fit in the back with the back seats. Like you don't even have to lay the seats down. Negative. So when they come around the corner with the forklift and all the stuff, I was like, oh no. Yeah, but good thing I was relatively decent at Tetris as a kid, so I figured it out.
See, this is why we shouldn't do it. My autograph decreases the value, Gonky.
Oh,
well, it's free, right? You want it.
It decreases the value. What are they? They're gonna hawk it.
Negative.
Get it?
It's negative. You
send me $5.
You can't even give it away. I got to put $10 in the cup to give it to them. Not even worth shipping it. Oh well, so much for that idea. But hey, support the kids or whatever.
Yeah.
Dogfight Brothers Invitational 2025 BFM Tournament Fight for Hope benefiting St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Lunar Gonky Show and High Alpha Hooligans.
Sign up.
Which is happening on the
27th.
Yeah, 27th and the 28th, or just the 27th?
Depends on how many people sign up. If we need,
we got so far, like 4 people.
18 right now. Competitors.
Oh, nice. It was 10.
Am I looking at?
That's the bracket as of right now, as people are signing up.
See, like, hurry up, squirrel. Probably not going to look so good on a mug. VSB crank, also not so much on the mug.
VSB crank.
Like, this guy's an old Delta captain. He's not going to put gray squid. I mean, maybe smelly.
Maybe. If he's an ex-Marine, he'll put gray squid.
No, he's not, though. He's a civilian guy.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
Well, look, we could reach out to whoever and be like, hey, what would you like on here?
Yeah. Well, what is a common Chinese spy name? Because that's probably who's going to win.
I don't know.
Loon Zhang. You're going to win it all. I mean, the last time we did this, the South Korean feller swept every time we did it.
He was a savage, dude.
He
kicked the AI's butt too, right?
He
sure did.
Savage.
He beat the AI, which the AI then used to train itself.
It's not. Dang it! That didn't work as planned.
Yeah, no.
They fooled us.
I'm gonna steal a line from. We just recorded another episode of our podcast, and we were promoting this, and I'm gonna steal a line from Jimmy. This is you sign up. You don't have to be the world's greatest DCS dog fighter. It's for charity. Sign up, have fun, help raise money for kids. And if you don't sign up, it's because you hate sick kids. And so if you don't hate sick kids, you want to sign up or watch live. And
I like it.
Wait a minute.
So he was totally guilting.
This is like the Michael Scott, hey, I need to make my or the dating profile. Hey, I need to show them what my priorities are. Little kid lover. You don't want to. Let's hold on now. I hate sick kids because I don't want them to be sick.
Yeah,
you hate kids being sick, but if you don't donate, it's because you just hate kids and you want them to be sick.
Well,
yeah. If you play DCS, man, it's a great cause,
if you don't join our tournament,
and it's fun.
It's like I can't. Is it early enough to drop an F-bomb?
Alec, watch out, buddy.
Too big red. Then, okay, yeah, sure, whatever, fine. Let's say that it's worthy, and because we're not charging a registration, so there's no excuse. Sign up,
make a donation,
fight with honor or lose with dignity, suck with confidence. Did you tell your students that as an IP?
Put that on a cup.
No.
Suck with honor. Oh, Gonky, you look like a disappointed dad.
Suck.
No, dude. Listen, man.
You got a swivel chair. You usually don't have a swivel chair,
dude.
Not a good thing for you.
Like I keep looking over here.
Too much.
I'm looking over here, looking for my screen. It's not there.
Is that where the guy with the gun is?
Yeah.
He's
That's right. Watch what you say.
he's holding up the
Yeah.
propaganda for you to read.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. Hold
The
on, I
blank-
can't
the
read that
blanks-
fast. Wait.
The blanks are dot 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 dash 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 dot dot dot. Gonky.
Yeah. Gonky doesn't know Morse code, so
are.
it doesn't matter. He didn't pay attention in
Do
Navy.
you know
school.
Morse code? I don't know Morse code.
No, dude. I mean,
He's Air Force. Come on, man.
no,
It's
they
not-
tried to teach us that in the mountains of Mount Washington, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
I don't
explained
remember
us
any of
the
that.
tap code, and I'm
tapped out.
yeah. I cannot.
Yeah.
I have a hard enough time with just English and words. So,
Use your words, Gonky. I can't.
I can't-
I'm trying.
Use my word. I'm trying so hard. Oh no. So Scud,
Sir,
tell us about yourself.
just that tell us about yourself where I start talking and you
Sit
guys
down.
Shut up.
Shut up.
No, this is legit. So, all right, for those that don't know, the losers that don't watch my other channel, Scud began his illustrious career as a jet engine mechanic on the Eagle jet.
I did.
Right. Yep.
Eagles and 130s. Yep.
Oh wow.
Oh, you were. Well, I corrected old FE because I totally I guess auditory exclusion. I heard C-130. I didn't listen. I heard the Eagle jet part. So I got to go back and edit a comment real quick because he's like, oh, I don't really like them. I'm like, well, he's an Eagle guy. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Turns out he does both. So my apologies, crazy Pete. I was wrong.
We're gonna hear about it, dude.
We're gonna hear about this.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway, then after that, he's like, I want to go kick some doors in. So we talked about his career as an Air Force Office of Special Investigations special agent and the badass training that this man received and the multiple belts he went through. Right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was good. It was a good time.
Yep. He almost got shot in the head. It was very scary.
I did. Yeah. And training of all
Mhm.
places. Yeah.
Wow.
And protected some important people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife watched that episode and she did not know the story of me almost getting shot in the head at training. So when we got done with the live, I had to have a little talk with her. She was upset.
Was she your wife at the time?
No,
Well, then
no, but she's
not
still
like you lied
she
to
was
her
still
when it
like, yeah,
happened.
no, but she was, she's like, what? We need to sit down and tell me about this story.
I understand, Scud.
I don't get it.
I know you don't, Mover.
I don't understand it. Okay. Anyway, well, so where we left the story was 6 years as an agent.
4.5 years as an agent, 6 years as
Okay.
a mechanic.
You were like, I had enough. I went to OTS, active duty. We talked
Active
a little
duty.
bit about that. Nobody cares about OTS. And then you went to pilot training.
Yeah. I went to OTS 10 years to the day that I went to basic when I enlisted. Same day, exactly 10 years later. And I had the same TI, the same black hat in OTS that I had 10 years earlier in basic training.
Did he recognize you?
Yeah. And
Really?
yeah, a couple weeks in, he asked me and, he knew, but I thought I was waiting for Ashton Kutcher to jump out. I was on like Punked or some shit. There's no way I've got the same TI. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, that's cool.
It was
and
a
then you went
nightmare.
to Euro-NATO Joint Jet Pilot Training.
I did in Egypt.
And tell us about that.
Well, yeah, it was pilot training at Air Force pilot training. I don't know.
Perfect. That was the
yeah.
greatest experience and explanation we've ever heard.
No, it
Thank
was a
you.
good time. It was fun. It was good
Good
to
night,
go through.
everybody.
Like, NJEP was traditionally a fighter bomber only school. And when I was there, about I think 2 classes before me, the rules changed. So everyone was stoked because we were going to get mostly fighters and a couple bombers. And then when drop happened, they'd open it up to like all platforms. And I think my 19-person class, we dropped 2 Vipers, and that was it. So we went through all this training, like amped up because we got into NJEP, which is like the odds of getting a fighter were increased, and then everyone's hopes and dreams were dashed. But
Oh,
it was
you were that-
fun.
What year was that?
It was 2000, end of 2010, going into 11.
Scott, do you apply to go to NJEP?
Yeah, you have to put in an application for NJEP. I did that when I was in OTS. And then for every OTS class that graduates, they get one NJEP slot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you were there because Splint, who I've interviewed on the channel, got KC-10s out of NJEP. It was during that time where,
Yeah,
it was because I took a couple Vipers to visit him and our UPT students from the Makos, and he ended up doing the KC-10 because that's all they would give him. And everybody was very upset during this time. But that's a good example of grow where you're planted, because he did the KC-10 and then the U2. So kind of
that's awesome.
Yeah. But so you got B-52s out of there?
B-52s. Yep.
Did you have a whole bunch of flying time when you applied?
I had, I don't know, maybe 120 hours on a private pilot's license.
About right.
So a little bit. But
Yeah.
pilot training is the great equalizer. I mean, you get people showing up who have 0 flight time and they smoke the program, and you've got people with thousands of hours that struggle.
Yeah. How'd you do? What was your?
I did okay. I did
Yeah.
really good in T6s, but in T38s, I was probably middle of the class.
Were you you weren't the senior ranking guy, just the oldest?
I was not the senior ranking guy. No, I was the oldest, but
Yeah, 'cause you
we had
talked about that. You
some
went,
captains that were like wizzos that
oh,
took
yeah,
over.
poor fellas. Did you? So you went there and basically this is your 3rd career at this point.
Third
So
career in the military. Yeah.
did you find all that badass training that you had made it easier to get through the nonsense of UPT, like the stand-ups and the pressure and the all the 12-hour days and all that stuff?
No.
Really?
No. Stand-ups were stand-ups, man. They were tough.
That's
It was also an adversarial time in pilot training. Like, it was a fighter pilot overage, and so a lot of the instructors, especially at that school where you used to have to graduate from NJEP to go back and teach. So it's like 80% of the instructors are fighter guys, and all of the 38 guys are fighter guys, and half of them did one tour in their Viper or Eagle and then got sent back to UPT, and they didn't want to be there. So it was kind of a
fun time.
Yeah, learn by fear and ridicule.
Yeah.
So the stand-ups weren't any easier because I had experience doing anything else.
I mean, you could threaten them, be like, "Hey, I still know people."
See, I wanted to lay low. You start talking about stuff like that and you get a target on you.
Well, you put a target on them. Uno reverse.
Yeah.
It's like Gonky's currently under.
I just
duress
wanted to
right now.
graduate. I just wanted to graduate and fly something that wasn't Predators and Reapers.
So you got the B-52.
Got the
Grandpa
B-52.
Buff.
Yep.
What's that thing like? Enough said. Next question.
You show up at B-52 FTU, and nobody wants the buff. I was really happy to get it. I wanted it, but nobody wants it. It's the oldest airplane almost the oldest airplane in the inventory, but at least the 135 had like upgraded avionics. It's still flying. The youngest one is built in 61. And it's still flying on 1960s avionics. But so you show up and the instructors, like I'm sure when you went to the the B course for Vipers, and they're like, welcome to the Viper, it's badass, and they tell you how great it is. Like the guys get up in front of the class the moment class starts, and they're like, welcome to the B-52. We know that none of you want to be here. And then the second thing he said is, now that you're here, take everything you just learned from pilot training and forget it. Because this airplane does not fly like any other airplane that you've ever flown. And he was right. It's an airplane of its time. It's a swept wing 8-engine jet bomber designed in the late 40s. Like they engineered out all the problems with that airplane in new airplanes now. So it's archaic and old. But I liked it. It's the kind of airplane you have to fly good. Like you can't. It doesn't do anything for you. So it's easy to fly, but it's very hard to fly precise.
Did you have to do a dreaded single engine failure at V1?
It's dual engine failure. Yes.
Same side or just wherever?
Same side, same pod, full outboard pods. Yeah, we do the dreaded 6-engine go around.
Yeah. The dreaded 7-engine approach.
Yeah. It is a lot though. Like to put it in perspective, it depends on your weight, right? If you're really lightweight, you've got tons of thrust, but all that thrust, you have control issues and the plane will want to roll. And if you're really heavy, you've got a lot of control, but no thrust. But when we would do this 6-engine go around, it is full rudder and it's 190 pounds to push the rudder all the way to the floor. It's full rudder and half yoke to maintain heading. So it's a lot of, I mean, you wrangle the airplane on a 6-engine go around.
You mean the autopilot doesn't?
Side, though.
Autopilot doesn't do this for you?
What is this thing you talking about? Auto what?
Auto
it has an autopilot, but it is rudimentary. Like the altitude hold is just a switch and you turn it on when you're at altitude. So it's hand flown to level off, hand flown from top of descent. No approaches are coupled. And the autopilot doesn't, like, there's a knob you turn to roll the airplane to be on heading, but it doesn't even have a heading hold.
It's an attitude hold.
It's wings level and it holds altitude. And it's not even a go no go. So, like, you know, my longest sortie is 9 without an autopilot. And my buddies flew a 16.
9 what minutes?
Yeah. If only.
Is there a dedicated navigator?
It's like 7 of them.
There's two.
Yeah, two.
Okay.
Yeah, there's one dedicated navigator, and then the other one is the weapon systems officer. They call them radar navigator. They're the bomb dropping weapons folks. Then we have an EDUB. It's a 5-man crew at minimum. So pilot, co-pilot, EDUB, and then downstairs, because it's 2 levels in the plane. It's like more like being in a submarine than an airplane. Downstairs is the navigator and radar nav in downward facing ejection seats, downward shooting ejection seats.
Do you guys talk like old World War II pilots, like pilot to navigator? Go.
Absolutely.
Go
Yeah, pilot. Navigator here. Yeah. Coming up on your turn. We do talk. It's heavily crew intensive. The airplane was not designed to be operated by 1 or 2 people. It's very, even radio changes sometimes are crew intensive. I think Gonky froze up.
But he froze up in such a great.
He's been thinking for a while.
Yeah, dude, we're just gonna leave this because in one side there's no picture. Or audio.
How about now?
Well, we got audio.
We got audio, but the picture
no
is
picture.
perfect.
Well, that's awesome. See, Gonky is. Dude, we just leave that. That could be his permanent.
I like
screenshot that, Doug. We're just gonna use that from here on out. It looks very in tune with it. So. Your B-52, no tail gunner. They got rid of that thing, right?
No tail gun. In the H model, the gunner is up in the front of the plane. And so his ejection seat is still there. There's still an RWR indicator, but there's no gun controls anymore. So it's just an extra ejection seat for extra crew member.
How many people max could you put on that thing?
10.
10?
Yeah. So 6 ejection seats plus 4 more crew accommodation, a jump seat, an instructor for the defense back in the back, an instructor downstairs, and the 10th person, which is actually called 10th man. Like, it is behind the jump seat. There's a seatbelt hooked to the floor and a comm and oxygen panel. And so you just sit on the floor and strap to the floor. And all the non-ejection seat guys have to wear backpack chutes in case.
Oh, that you bring to the jet, or they just stay in the jet all the time?
They stay in the jet. So every time you get in, you've got to. Yeah, but we don't use it. Yeah, it's usually got all our gear on it.
There's no like augmented, like, hey, it's my time for the break.
We have augmented crews, but we rarely use the bunk because we throw our gear there. And the airplane, even with the yaw damper working, has a pretty noticeable Dutch roll. So the best place to sleep is to lay right in the floor in the middle because the plane just rocks you to sleep.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crowded with 10 people and all the gear, which we only do when we're deploying because there's no reason to put 10 people on there. So 10 people and all their gear, it is cramped. Very small flight deck. Yeah.
And what's like the longest flight?
Mine is 20 hours.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, my longest is 20. Hey, welcome back. I had a few friends in my squadron that flew a 44.
Why?
Wow.
It's strategic messaging. They flew from
To the-
Louisiana to Australia they drop bombs during an exercise in Australia and all the way back home. But it's just a reminder to our adversaries that this airplane can go anywhere in the world.
And a reminder to the pilots to update their airline apps.
yeah, it is.
If you can do this, well, we got a deal for you.
So
Yeah.
Scud, if you do one 44-hour sortie, are you done for like the quarter? Like, is that your one flight or?
No, they do wrap
No.
Gonky in the Air
Yeah.
Force. It's based on numbers, not hours. That's a
Yeah.
Navy thing.
So the crappy part is, so the relief crew member, right? We have an extra pilot on board. It's not like the airlines where they swap out, evenly split the time. The relief crew member is only there to give the pilots a break whenever they need it. So he has to stay rested, he or she. So if you're on a 20-hour sortie as the 44-hour sortie as the relief pilot, you might only get an hour, hour and a half, 2-3 hours in the seat at max. So you get to do the 44-hour and log a whole 2.0.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an awful deal.
Wow.
Yeah, I can
Well,
see
like we were
why
said-
the opening statement is sucks. You don't want to be here. No one
Yeah.
knows.
But it's
Wow.
it was fun. It was cool. There's like a, I don't know, a mindset that comes with that airplane. Your primary job, they do go into combat. I don't have combat time in the BT2. I missed it by 3 months when I left the squadron. First time the buff went into combat in over a decade was right after I left. But it's primary missions nuke, and you train. You're never not doing nuke training, and so these long duration missions are to, like I said, it's strategic messaging. The plane carries 20 warheads on it, and it's just a reminder that we can go anywhere in the world and deliver 20 suns to your cities.
Remember when they lost the nukes? Or didn't lose it, but they accidentally brought them to Barksdale? That group commander taught one of my ACSC classes.
Yeah.
I was like, really? I was like Googling the name going, I don't know about this one. He failed.
that was a bad
I'm
deal.
gonna have words with this. But yeah, he got fired. So now he teaches.
Here's another unusual thing since we're talking about the plane. When I talk about how it flies different than anything, we don't pull back on the yoke to take off. We push forward.
Whoa.
And instead of rotate, it's called unstick.
That sounds very British.
Yeah, it's
I don't know why, but it just sounds like
it does.
something
I
somebody
never
in
thought of it before, but now
Formula One would say.
It's got two center trucks for the main gear, and the way the wing lifts, because it's so swept back, it'll pull the tail up first, and you'll ride on the front wheels, which you kind of lose directional control on the runway. It's called wheelbarrowing. So as you roll down the runway and pick up speed, you pull the yoke all the way back, as far as you can, to hold the back wheels down. But that's way too much, to fly. And the plane wants to fly nose low all the time. And so you pull the stick back, and then at rotate speed, when the wheels leave the ground, you push the stick forward and run about 3 seconds of nose down trim to transition to the flight attitude. So you legit, you go, and we're flying, take off, and you push forward.
That's a horrible habit pattern for your next
That's why they said, forget everything you just learned, because you're going to have to learn how to fly all over
Literally.
again.
Does it have the annoying 737 style trim wheel from 1945?
Yeah.
You really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly why the 737 sucks. Yeah.
Did you guys get enough flying in that airplane to there were no T-38 flying?
No, we didn't have any companion trainers.
Okay.
We got to fly in it a lot more than the U2 and the B2 guys.
Yeah. One sorties all week.
Yeah.
You spend a whole work week in that thing.
And if it wasn't some mission, you'd go do anywhere from a 5 to a 10-hour training sortie, and that usually included coming back and doing an hour and a half or 2 of pattern work.
Well,
We'd-
did
we'd
you
beat 'em
stay
up.
an hour and a half or 2 hours in the pattern?
Yeah, it wasn't uncommon.
Dude, all the airline guys on the 777 and the 78 are salivating. 40 hours. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I flew my 1 40-hour trip for 12 grand. Month's done, boys. See you next
Once
month.
it's over.
Yeah. How many people
Yeah.
would be jumping on that? Especially to be the FB. They don't want to be the guy that sits in the
yeah.
seat for 18 hours. They want to be the 2.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah. If you got then the first words were, we know you all want to be here.
Yeah.
It's like you're getting 44
Welcome
hours
to the other airline, boys.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cash cow.
Wow.
If
Yeah.
only we got paid that way in the Air Force, huh?
Yeah. If you ever did the math, especially you at the cost per hour, you know, what's an 03 versus an airline captain?
Oh,
Dude, I bet you're like,
sure.
I bet CFIs make more than you made per hour in that airplane.
Yeah.
But Scud, you had 2 navs. Did you ever have to do any planning? Or you just show up, like they hand you a card, you're like, this looks right, and then you just go.
We did mission planning as a crew the day before, and it was usually about 8 hours.
Really?
Yeah. And the navigators plan out the route and file it, plan out the altitudes, airspeeds. The pilots will usually plan out what we're going to do pattern work wise, if we come back and do pattern work, and how we're going to split the crew up for that. Because it's usually just repetitions. Somebody's always getting ready for a check ride. So somebody's on board wanting to do pattern work. The radar nav and EDUB did their, weaponeering of targets for whatever we're practicing to go bomb, whatever the mission was. And then the EDUB's involved in that, making sure, say we're taking out a site that has SA threats there. They're helping weaponeer, like how far in the mez can we go before we get lit up, before we have to turn around? Can we drop, do we turn cold and then try again?
Right.
And then we'd all come together with our products and kind of brief it as a crew at the end of mission planning day. It's a lot of process. It's a lot of work.
Can you get up and walk around?
Yeah, you can.
Is there any room?
No, you have to crouch and like duck walk in the upper deck. There's no room to stand up there. The only place you can actually stretch out is on the ladder between the top and bottom floor.
Or you can't go like hang out in the bomb bay?
No, you can. I've been in the bomb bay once in flight.
Is that where all the hooking up happens? There's,
yeah, you're right. It would be terrifying. It's already terrifying enough going back there.
Yeah.
Because you don't walk back there. You have to depressurize and climb out a little hatch and climb around the landing gear. And they're on
That's
the side
somebody's
of the landing
fetish. Somebody's
gear.
into that sort of thing. Yeah. Right by the nukes.
Yeah.
But Scott, everybody's sitting on a hot seat, right? So, if you got up, you had to safe up and, hey guys, don't punch out without me, right?
Yeah. There's 6 seats, like we were talking about. There's room for people who aren't in seats there. But when we're only strapped into the seat during critical phases of flight.
Okay.
When we're in cruise, we go, it's called cruise comfort. We safe the seat and unstrap out of the parachute and put on a headset instead of a helmet.
I love that the Air Force has a name for this. Get into cruise comfort, please.
Cruise comfort, yes.
Engage.
Yeah, engage. As the aircraft commander, I admonish you for not being in cruise comfort.
Cruise comfort would get you it down in a hurry. Where I came from, so
yeah. So we're not always strapped in.
When you drop,
you're always on a seat though, so you guys know how that is. It's uncomfortable.
Oh yeah.
So I watched the show about the bomber pilots in Europe on Apple TV. When you drop your bomb, does the bombardier take over? Who actually pickles? Who?
The radar nav downstairs, I think, depending on the type of weapon, they can manually pickle the bomb, but most of the time the computer does it. And we hand over the autopilot to them.
No kidding.
Depending
so
on
still
what
do that.
Yeah, depending on what kind of weapon it is, we'll hand over. We call it George. It's called second station. We always call it George. That George is the nav computer. So we'll say George is flying, and we have a switch up front that we will flip, and then it gives total control of the airplane over to the nav bomb system. And now upstairs, I have the ability to safe weapons as the aircraft commander. So I can stop the bomb drop, but they're the ones who initiate it and execute it.
So you're just riding around up front.
You're just a bus driver, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, so after that nightmare, what happened?
Nightmares and dreams too, bro.
Yeah. After that,
living the dream.
I loved it. I said, but I think also I was in a really good squadron. I had really good people I flew with. It was a lot of fun. We always, just like other Air Force flying units that are not, heavies and tankers. We deploy as a unit. We're always in garrison as a unit. I did 2 deployments and they were both to Guam. So like, horrible time drinking on the beach, on deployment. So the squadron I was in was great. So it was a lot of fun. I have a lot of fond memories there. So it wasn't a nightmare for me, but like you said, grow where you're planted, right?
Mhm.
Make the best of it. After that, I got T-38 IP. So I went to Pitt and then went to Vance in good old Enid, Oklahoma. Taught in the 38.
Back to the 38.
Yeah, get back to the pointy nose fast jet world, and that was great.
Yeah. What was the biggest challenge with teaching in that jet?
Well, I think it's just a matter of exposure, right? When you're new at teaching in that airplane, the students surprise you with errors you're not ready for. And after enough time, you start to predict the future. Like you can see the writing on the wall, you can see the one little mistake and you're already like 10 steps ahead and now you're ready and you're guarded. So when you're new, you're always on guard because the airplane is fun, but it can be really, really unforgivable.
Yeah.
Especially big errors in the pattern. It's your time to respond needs to be really quick. They say like the green in the circle, the bullseye that's green in the middle is where your student is capable of recovering. And then the yellow is where they can't recover, but you can. And then the red is where neither of you can recover. And you don't ever let it get into the red. And the line between green to yellow to red in the 38 with new students is extremely thin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, as a Navy guy that came over, when I first flew the T-38, I was astonished that the Air Force doesn't kill more students. I'm like, this thing is, like tiny wings, like you said, man, it's very easy to get it into a sticky situation.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Funny story. I had a student, his first no flap landing. So I demoed a no flap, which from the back seat, especially in the C model with the new seats, you can't see out front on a no flap. The angle of attack is too high. I demo the no flap and then it's his turn. And we call it the crack shift. So at about, 1,000 feet from the underrun, you crack the power just a little and you just shift the aim point a tiny bit. And he does his crack shift and it's perfect. Like the right amount of throttle, the right amount of shift. And then you drive that down. And when you're crossing the threshold, you go idle. And as my brain is thinking, that was really good. Like in that moment, he goes crack shift and then he goes idle, like way early.
Oh, dude.
And I took the airplane, slammed it in a burner and pulled back. Auditory exclusion kicks in because I don't hear the stall horn, but I can see on the MFD in big red writing, it says stall. And we were right on the edge. You're, max performing. And then I remember temporal distortion kicks in. Like it felt really slow. And I remember seeing the underrun and I'm like, we are going to hit the underrun. Like there's no saving this. Mm-hmm. And I thought I need to save the tail because we were really nose high. I'm just don't hit the tail. Don't hit the tail. So I just let the stick go. And we just crossed the threshold and slammed in the ground, like really hard landing bounce. And as we bounced up, that's when the burners were lighting. And so we had to leave the gear down and have somebody come do a gear check and then bring it in and land it. And it was just one quick error. It was just him going idle just a little bit too early and too aggressive. And the best part that right on the side of the runway, I don't know if it was the same in the Navy, but the RSU and their grading landings. And if you get an excellent touchdown, the RSU will double click the radio. And we slam into the ground and bounce. And as the burners are lighting and we're pulling away, the RSU is double clicking us. Like, yeah, got it. Excellent touchdown. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Like you just saw us almost die, and your first response is, "Great job, guys! Click, click."
Well, great job not dying.
Yeah, dude. Great job saving the airplane, right?
You saved your own bacon.
Yeah, and that's the 38. We would always joke when we came back, like, "How many times did you almost die?" That sortie, and it was always this running joke. And then I moved from the 38 to the T1, the beach jet. And then I never had a moment like that. There was never a moment in the beach jet where I came home and I was like, I almost died twice today.
Never spilled your coffee on yourself?
Yeah.
It burned your tongue, maybe something.
Yeah. Well, hey, Scud, for our list, what drove you to the T1?
A herniated disc in my neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I shouldn't have been over there, but I had a really good commander. The Air Force didn't know what to do with me, and they said, well, we can't put you in the T1 because you're not a heavy guy. You're a bomber guy. You have to stay in the 38. And that was my wish. And I said, well, I'm here. I'm teaching. Just move me over there. And they said no. They were trying to come up with a plan. Maybe we'll leave you as a non-flying IP while you finish out your career. Because I was, starting to get in my twilight there in my career. They were like, maybe we'll send you to go to introductory flight screening and fly Diamond DA-20s. And I was like, that would suck. And I got called into my commander's office on a Friday, and he said, we can't make you a T1 IP, but since you're not flying right now and you've got your medical back, I'm going to send you over there as a PCA. We're just going to move you across the street administratively, and you're going to help them in their squadron. And so Monday after the weekend, I showed up in the T1 squadron and I reported into their commander, and he's like, hey, so I can't make you a T1 IP. I can't assign you a slot, but now that you're here and you're in my squadron, now I can use you as a backfill for anyone who can't make it to T1 training or pit training there. Wink, wink. And by the end of that week, like Thursday, he's like, so I happen to have a FAPE that can't make it. Can you get to San Antonio by Monday? And I was like, yes, I can. So
that's awesome.
I went to San Antonio, went through T1 pit, came back, and I was already teaching in the airplane when the Air Force tried to figure out like what to do with me. And when they tried to figure out what to do with me, we're like, oh, well, he's already qualified as a T1 IP and he's already in our squadron teaching. And they're like, oh, well, okay. Totally under the table.
So you did both 38 pit and T1 pit. What's your take on comparing them?
Oh, T1 pit was so much easier. I can't even explain it.
It was more fun.
I mean, there were challenges there learning the airplane and teaching in it, but T1 pit was difficult.
T38 pit.
Or sorry, T38 pit. Yeah.
Yeah. I did part of it and I was like, man, it's pretty hard.
Yeah. It's very much built for fighter pilots to learn how to teach in the T38. And so as a bomber pilot, having not spent a career flying formation, doing TAC form, just learning it in UPT, and then years later they want me to teach it. There was a huge learning curve, like trying to catch back up on all the stuff that I had brain dumped from years earlier.
Right.
So and then everything slowed down.
Yeah.
Like the 38 is so fast, and you're trying to hang on to the tail, and while teaching it, you're still, you take off on sortie 1 in pit, and they're asking you to teach stuff, and you're still standing on the runway, like it's gone. But having to slow the pace down made it much easier. I remember when my first landing in the T1 at Vance, where I taught, I'm on final to a runway I've landed at in the 38 countless times. And as we're on final, I look down and I'm like, that's a really cool barn. Is that barn always been? I didn't even know that was there. That never even had time to look at the ground on final in the 38. Now on the T1,
right.
we're coming in at, with a headwind, we're coming in at 120 knots with a 20 knot headwind. We're doing 100 knots over the ground. I'm like, I have so much time.
Perfect. That's
so
awesome.
It was much easier. And I like teaching in it better. The 38 was obviously more fun to fly, but the T1, the 38 single pilot mentality, you sit in the back and you wait for the student to make a mistake, and then you take the airplane. And in the T1, it's longer sorties and it's side-by-side crew mentality. So there's a lot more actual teaching, a lot more let's try this technique. How about this? Let me show you something in the FMS. And so you're just more active as an instructor. So it was better teaching there, but not as fun.
How long did you do
that? 2 years.
And then you moved on? You retired?
Retired.
Said I had enough.
Yeah, after 22 years, yeah, I was ready.
Yeah. And then what?
Medevac and King Airs for 2 years. I retired during COVID, so they weren't hiring at the airlines, and I found a medevac job. It was really good. It was probably the best job I had right up until it wasn't. Things changed, and then I looked at the airline apps and moved over to a legacy carrier, and now I fly 220s, and
nice.
Life is good.
Yeah, it's not like a B-52.
No.
And rotate.
Yeah, right.
Dude.
Well, but like everything I'd flown up until the T1, that was the first plane I flew that had an FMS and a real autopilot, and it was, everything was old.
Yeah.
And so yeah, this is flying was learning how to manipulate the automation was kind of a learning curve there.
Gonky, are you about to get run over by a train?
Yeah, I heard that.
Just forget about the locomotive.
You lost your padded walls. Now we can definitely see it's a garage door.
Hopefully the locomotive doesn't hit the internet tower.
Anyway, I've been
looking at
collecting. Sorry, go
The
ahead.
comments here. The last T1 leaves Vance in September.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Yeah, they're getting rid of it.
I thought they were
going
gone
away.
already. I didn't know they even had any left. You should do that. But all right, so we got some people in the audience. DG. See, this is what I'm talking about. You can't put that on a cup. You just can't. Like that wouldn't. It looks like a typo.
How do you
Go
say
all
that?
Way around, dude.
Please look up the extremely stealthy YF-118G. Hope that'll be the F-47 and en masse. Missiles and sensors should be outsourced to CCAs. It's good looking.
Oh, the bird of prey. Other things hanging up in the museum at Dayton.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. Looks like the Edie with Jessica Biel.
That's a mean looking airframe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both are.
Heat Seeking says, Mover, would it motivate you to finish Ace Combat 7 if I did the remaining missions in the Viper and uploading them? Sure. I don't know. Sure. Bob says, so is the door suddenly going to open and Meemaw takes out Gonky with the Oldsmobile?
I don't do anything. No, not this door. No, there's various bays in this facility. This one is
that
not
would
used
be
for parking.
Awesome. Does it actually have a remote? If somebody could hack with like one of those little dolphin things,
Oh, that'd be great.
the remote
Especially with
midstream.
it being that cold outside. That would
Oh,
be
yeah.
It'd be
dude.
amazing.
Oh no way, dude!
He's gonna be looking like Jack Nicholson at the end of it.
Yeah, the
Shining.
icicles will start coming out of my nose. It's like,
Beast Joke says Gonky is in the definition of nondescript location. Telling you, he's avoiding the feds.
You get hardship pay?
yeah,
Turkey A Intelligence Agency. We heard what Gonky said about our drone. He's in a secure location.
yeah.
It's true. We were on Turkey
We
A
were-
News.
You're on Turkey News, yeah.
Joe with the Airwolf patch. Take it easy on Scud. Let's just change it to DCG.
Oh,
The DCS,
womp womp.
yeah.
Digital
Instead of
Combat
DCS,
Game. You're gonna have
Games.
some pitchforks. Tic Tac
That's
Scott
all
my
right.
back says the thing on Scud shirt looks a lot like something I saw out the window on my way here. The sun. What is that?
Does anybody know?
a
I
minion.
won't say what it is. Let's see if anyone in the audience gets what it is.
It's a tennis ball.
It's very niche. I'm a space nerd. There's your hint.
Oh,
Oh, is it the Russian?
It is not.
Thing?
I was wearing a Russian space shirt when I did your show on Wednesday, though. This is not. This is a U.S. space shirt. Somebody got it. Pioneer. Voyager, rather. Yep, Voyager.
Oh, okay. All right.
Spider says Gonky mission secret distance unknown. Renee, always for fairness. Renee says both sign it.
Hey, puppy.
I don't know when we would get together for that. Thomas says, evening, gents. Have Luna sign the mug. Tomcats. Everybody except Mover. I don't know if you see the trend here, but everybody except Mover. Crazy Pete says, learn your lesson, Mover. The FE is always right. I heard C-130 and it must have just like I zoned out.
That's funny.
Did you say that on the stream?
Mover has selective hearing, dude.
Yeah, I do.
100%.
Richard, thank you. Thomas says, did Gonky finally accept the foreign general's offer to fly jets and he's in the secret location?
Yeah. If that's the case, he's got to pay his heating bill because it's cold here.
Bob says, Scud, how realistic is the B-52 stuff in Doctor Strangelove? We should do a Mover Ruins movies.
Oh, that would be a great one to do.
I've never
How
watched-
realistic? It's not. It's not realistic. However, they built that entire like cockpit, interior of the airplane off of one picture because when they made that, the cockpit was still it was still
Oh.
classified. So what they did is really well done, but not realistic.
Mm.
But obviously, riding the bomb down, that's super realistic.
Probably like to make the cockpit. Let's just get 6,000 steam gauges.
That's
Yeah.
how it is.
Just put it all in random places.
Do you have to check ops limits for every single engine?
Well, dude, it's easy, right? They're all like this.
They're all needles, yeah.
It's all like that.
If you
one
can
is
read
over
them.
here,
Half of them the lights don't
You're
work.
just
So
looking
if it's a
for the
night sortie,
difference?
you don't see them. Yeah. If they're all pointing roughly the same direction, it's probably
told you,
good.
dude.
Do you even know it? Oh my
gosh.
God. What is
Oh my
this?
gosh, dude, what is that?
That's an older
Russian?
that's an older model buff, but it looks similar. It looks similar.
What is that?
Yeah.
A 60 model, not the 61? Or
That's late 50s D
Is
model.
that an ADF?
The
Hold on.
radar scope thing? Yeah, I don't know.
You got an ADF down there. Could you listen to music?
Yeah. Tune up the
What are they-
ADF.
Oh, do you have leg straps for your seat?
No.
What's the straps on the
that's the ejection handle, dude.
Yeah.
yoke? No.
Oh,
the
that's
handle.
Oh, that's the
Those are the
oxygen hose
wires.
hanging there. Yeah, that's the comm oxygen.
Look at all those engines.
Yeah, it's and your big Boeing trim wheel.
It is there. Does it hit you in the knee?
Yep.
Yeah. You got a radar? Oh, we're going to talk about that here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, you keep your knee against it. You learn to keep your knee against it because if there's a runaway trim, it's deadly. So most of the guys in the left seat will keep their knee touching against it.
Wow.
That way you can feel it if it starts running away. If you're not
Look how
looking.
big the rudder pedals are.
Well, yeah, dude, if it takes 190 pounds of force.
DCS should make this next. And then somebody needs to create one of these cockpits in their home.
Dude,
If you're into
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
It's
I mean,
old.
it takes two to fly it, man. I mean, you have to find somebody with a wife that also plays DCS.
Tom says, do B-52 crew have to go through jump school?
Not jump school, but we do have egress training where we learn how to work the ejection
Really?
seat and parachute down.
RB says, that's why the B-52 is so sexy. It flies all night forever.
Even more so with new engines.
Jimmy says, Doug, please have them ask about opening the window with the new guy.
Oh yeah. There is a paragraph, there's a sentence in the -1, which is enormous. There's one sentence when it comes to the windows that says that the pilot and co-pilot window may be opened at pattern altitudes and airspeeds. And if you got a new pilot that hasn't read that deep into the manual, it's always a fun trick when you're in the pattern. Turn the pressurization system off. Be like, hey, you got the airplane for a second. You stow your papers and open the window in flight, and their eyes bug out. But it is something. It's cool to be in a jet like that and fly around in the pattern with the window open.
Is that for smoking?
There are still ashtrays in there.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say, yeah.
And the people that used to fly them back when they could still smoke said they didn't usually use the ashtrays. They'd go back. We have a sextant port behind the pilot seats that is still there. We don't have sextants anymore, but you can open it, and it's a 1-inch diameter hole out of the cabin. So they'd stand back there and blow their smoke through the sextant port.
Man.
Amazing how the other half lives, Gonky.
That's back in the day.
Red Devils. Yes.
ST6 Red Devils.
FTB.
What's FTB?
First to bomb. That was the squadron I was in. The Red Devils 96th. First, I'm gonna hopefully impress this Red Devil guy. It was the first American squadron to drop bombs in combat ever. On 12 June 1918, out of a Breguet 14 French bomber, they dropped bombs on the Domery Baroncourt rail yard in France
Wow.
in 1918. So our motto is first to bomb.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Cool history.
Thag would also like to know how realistic were the buffs portrayed in Red Storm Rising?
Is that a book? I haven't read that. Or is it a
It's
movie?
a Clancy book, I think.
I have not read that.
You're not as
now I
much a
feel like a
nerd as you
letdown.
promised. Yeah.
Yeah.
You promised
Damn.
nerdery.
Scott's photography says, Scud, where the air show pass is fun. Do any fun flyovers for national anthem?
Did some air show stuff down in Australia, and it was really fun. But
Wow.
a week in Melbourne is a horrible way to go do an air show.
Did you
But,
ever run over taxi lights like those dudes in Dubai?
No, I haven't, but it's not uncommon to
Yeah.
go to an airfield where you have to ask them to take the taxi lights down. Our wingtip wheels, the outriggers, are 148 or 149 feet apart. So if you're on a 150-foot wide runway, you're knocking taxi lights down with the wheels. I didn't do B-52 flyovers. I did fly over the White House in an A-26 Invader World War II bomber for 4th of July. That was a really fun air show flyover. But in the bomber, I only ever took it as a static.
In
Which has a newer cockpit?
The Buff by a couple years, but only a few.
Gonky didn't get the joke.
No, right over my head, dude.
Yeah, it's fine. It was funny. We all laughed. Spearhead Global says, do you think B-52s will complete 100 years of service?
Yep. It's on paper right now to last until 2050, and I think it'll last beyond that. So it'll be a 100-year-old design. If it makes it to 2060, a 100-year-old airframe.
I mean, are there any concerns as far as like fatigue?
Oh yeah.
I mean, did they design? Did they just? I mean, did it have a service life like 6,000 hours?
I don't know what the service life was. There was an hour life on the wing. That's the landing gear and the wings. But they've got a really aggressive like wing service life program, and reskinning it. It'll stay around for a long time. It's not because it's like the best bomber. It's the cheapest to operate, but it's because of the weapons it carry. It's the only nuclear cruise missile shooting airplane we have. So until we have a new plane and a new missile in enough numbers, they can't get rid of it. That cut a whole third of the nuclear triad out. So when they neutered the B-1 and took it made it non-nuke, they locked the B-52 in for 90 to 100 years of lifespan. And we were joking about this, my friend, the other day. We were talking about it. That would be the same as flying an airplane in the Air Force now and having a B-17 still in service for at least another 10 to 15 years from now.
That's wild.
It's insane.
Surprised no one's thought of that. John says, Scud, I thought you were a DJ too.
I don't understand that one. Definitely not.
Mr. Aka, 1996, says, Scud, explain new start fins. Is that going to go? We're going to go to jail. That's Canadian. $279. That's not much. So
I don't know. I think so. I don't think it's the fins. It's the blisters. There's on the, and this is not like classified stuff. There's little antennas on the waist of the fuselage that stick out the side, and there's fiberglass blisters around those antennas. And those blisters do nothing for the airplane. They're not there for the antennas. They're not there for aerodynamics. They're there to signify that the plane is nuke capable so that the Russian satellites can see it. So if you ever see a B-52 in a museum, it doesn't have the blisters on the side because it's not nuke capable. That way their satellites can count them, and they can count how many bombers we have that are still configured.
Oh, they want to be seen.
Yeah, well, it was the agreement we did with them when we did the START treaty. That, that's how we can allow them to count. And then I don't know what is on their side, but there's some way for us to be able to tell.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Our pilot says B-52 is awesome, but the B-36 is king.
Oh, that's a monster airplane.
Douglas Rose says, given the Doomsday mission, was there any type of testing to make sure the pilot would follow through and drop the nukes?
Not testing, PRP, pilot reliability program, which is huge background checks. And then you're always under a microscope for everything. If you get a speeding ticket, it gets reported for your nuke security clearance. If you go to the doctor for a 10-minute checkup, you get an hour and a half or two of paperwork.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's PRP is
PRP is great because of jail.
Yeah, so you're always under a microscope. That way, if you're not the right kind of person, then
bye-bye.
You don't get access.
Bye-bye.
Sid says you passed a roll call, by the way.
Dude, that was impressive, man.
To the Red Devils.
Lucky Dad, the B-52 cockpit is bigger than my first apartment. Cool airframe. Crazy Pete says Sextant Port is perfect size for hard-boiled eggs. It's great in trail formation.
That and hot dogs and any other thing you want to throw out of the top of the plane.
Jimmy would like you to tell the Chattermark story.
Oh. large force exercise out at Guam, and on the opposing side was an Eagle squadron, and they left their comm card on the printer in the shared community printer we had. They left their comm card there, and so we snatched up one of their comm cards, and they didn't have a Chattermark, and so we decided we were going to exploit it. And the guy I was flying with, really close buddy of mine, he passed away in a 38 accident, sick or stuck, depending on which squadron he was in. He had this great idea. We had patch cords we would make where you could plug into an empty comm station and play music, but it was plugged into like a normal comm station. So he plugs in his patch cord, and then a few minutes before push time on their frequency, he starts playing tra-la-la-la-la. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. And then just a few minutes after push, the song ends, and then you hear them start doing all their fighter pilot talking, getting ready, communicating to each other, and then he keys the mic again and plays the Russian national anthem. And when we got on the ground, they were pissed because it was a safety of flight issue, and they couldn't talk to each other, and we're defending ourselves, and they had a full-bird colonel black border patch in their squadron that came up to help, I guess, settle the argument. And he asked what was going on, and they explained it. And he said, "Well, did you have a Chattermark?" and they go, well, no. And he goes, nice job, Buffs. And he walks off.
Yeah, dude. Exactly.
Nice.
We comm jammed him for
the
Russian national anthem.
Dude.
OPSEC.
I love it.
Metallic Canuck says, had a B-52 on arrival at Air Show London 2 years ago. Fly right over me. Loudest thing I've ever heard. And I've had everything fly over me. No air PPE.
Yeah. Spooky sound. Spooky.
Turbojets.
Code Monkey says, when I worked on the B-2, our pilots were teased by B-52 flyers that when the last B-2 is put to the boneyard, the crew will be picked up by a B-52.
It's going to happen.
And they'll be handed a parachute.
Yeah. Put this on.
Maddie says, first time catching y'all live. I hope everyone's good. Also just turned 17 and my parents agreed on me going for my PPL for our Piper Archer.
Nice.
Hell yes.
That's awesome.
There you go. That's awesome.
You'll never look back and regret it.
I don't know what country that is, but pretty cool. Gonky, you don't speak other countries, do you?
I try to refrain.
Jack Connell says, many fun stories of the buff at Avalon. Takes out one side of the runway lights on landing and the other on takeoff.
Yeah.
What is
that's
that?
That's where I did the air show, was Avalon down there.
Is that a meteor?
2015.
I don't know.
That's a
meteor?
Yeah. No, that's a
Avro?
Canberra. That's
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
No BID on this. Nick says Russia is a paper tiger. They're taking humiliating losses, yet for some reason our media tells us we have to bend over and give them what they want. Russia is not a peer of NATO US. What say you? Wow, that's
I
never underestimate anyone.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. All right. On to our thank you for your interview. We appreciate
Thank
your
you
story.
for having me here.
Here's something that Grandpa Buff now has. An ESA.
Yes.
So the B-52 completes ferry flight after radar modification. They went to Boeing San Antonio to Edwards following installation of a modernized radar system as part of the B-52 modernization program. Step forward. It's got a modern active electronically scanned array ESA radar, replaces the aircraft's antiquated and failing legacy radar, provides an upgraded all-weather navigation and targeting capability for the 65-year-old bomber. It's developed by Raytheon. It's very similar to what the Eagle and the Hornet has. It's an important mark in our efforts, says Troy Mink. Radar modernization ensures that B-52 will continue to serve as a cornerstone of American air power well into the future until we're all dead. We're extending the life of this vital platform. It's a key element in the broader strategy to modernize the B-52 as its planned service life now extends through 2050 and potentially beyond, as it will complement the new B-21. The fleet of 76 B-52s are scheduled to receive additional upgrades, including new engines, crew compartments. We just talked about that. Conventional and nuclear communication systems, avionics, weapons, and other capabilities will enhance B-52's abilities to carry out the full spectrum of combatant command and U.S. STRATCOM-directed missions. This milestone ensures our future airmen inherit a modernized, ready Air Force. Kind of hard to say with the B-52, but whatever you say, sir. B-52 modernization program is about more than technology. It's about readiness, deterrence, the ability to fight and win. It's a powerful example of how we fly, fix, and fight to sustain global strike capability. Yeah, I mean, it's an unmatched symbol of air power, a lot of other stuff. So, and ESA radar, SCUD.
Yep. It's
hold on. Go back to that picture. What are we looking at? Is that
it's the chin, isn't it?
Yep. That's under the cockpit.
Wow. Aren't there like normally people down there?
They're behind us. They're below but behind.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do you think as
radar.
a B-52 guy?
It's awesome. Our radar sucks. It's a 1970s old, gimbaled radar, and they're with the upgrades with the avionics and the crew compartment, the radar and the engines, all separate projects. They're all coming together into that modernization program. It's going to be redesignated when they're done, the J model. So last one rolled off the assembly line in 62, and it's a 61 tail number built, finished in 62, and they're now going to redesignate them the J model. But I think it's good. I think as a surveillance platform, ground mapping, ESA radar is going to be nice. It's going to help with targeting. But the ability to see air targets with it, because it's like the Hornet radar, is going to build picture for us.
You could be AWACS. You could be like a little mini, or put Ace Combat style 120 AMRAMs in it.
So there has always been this talk about making a missile truck, but it doesn't make sense because it's not going to be survivable in the fight. But now with the new long range AIM-120s, there's a potential that with new data link systems now as well, that might actually be something that's feasible. It carries 70,000 pounds of payload, so you can put a lot of AMRAMs on a B-52.
You'll run out. You'll run out with one B-52. If that thing crashes, your entire B-50 or AIM-120 arsenal is gone.
Build more.
We lost it. Oh, Raytheon, they're counting their money, but everybody else is like, oh, we're heaters only, boys.
Yeah, dude, I cannot imagine. I mean, what was it called? Is it the APG like 168 or 169? Right? I mean, in the article, because I read that article earlier.
Yeah.
And what I'm getting at is like typically where like the older one was the 67 and the 72 and the 81, 89. Dude, the amount of electrical power and stuff you could put behind that ESA radar, I can't imagine what kind of air picture that thing can generate. And
Big
I wonder
aperture on it too, compared to because it's got so much room to put. They put a huge radar in there.
Exactly, man. And then also, like, I wonder, the Navy's farting around with the AIM, was it 174?
Mm-hmm.
The like ultra long range missile, like you talked about, SCUD, like maybe putting a bunch of those on that thing. I mean,
not just that, but think about, the MQ-28 Ghost Bat just did their test. You could probably stick a couple CCAs in there and throw them out, make it a drone carrier, send those dudes downrange, and you're targeting for them.
Dude, you've got a huge radar, 44 hours on station. Like, I mean, no, the air picture.
Nobody kicks ass without tanker gas, Gonky.
It's true, but they're also putting new engines on it. They're not any more powerful, but they're way more efficient. Now, I don't know. When I was in the community, when they finally were coming up with the plan, I don't know if these numbers are accurate anymore, but our unrefueled range was 8,000 miles roughly. And now they're talking about an unrefueled range of 12,000 miles. So still need some tankers if you're going far enough, but the point of that was to cut the tanker bridge out or give us substantially greater loiter time.
God. Well, all right. So you got 36 hours of unrefueled loiter time, dude. I mean, yeah, it's pretty wild. It'll be interesting to see what comes of that. I mean, it's got another 40 years of life, so there's room to grow.
Yeah. It's just
lasers, dude. Lasers.
It's middle aged right now.
It's middle aged. Yeah,
dude. That was it Dale Brown, Dale Stark, one of the authors that flew B-52s. He writes a bunch of books. That was one of his thing about the super secret B-52, spec ops guys that had lasers on their B-52. And I was like, well, here we are. Very exciting stuff.
Yeah,
all the lasers. Yeah. And then you get shot down and you lost all of your AMRAAMs. All of them. Every single one of them.
And your awesome radar.
Yeah, and your awesome radar.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. It's not fighting in uncontested airspace. It's a giant target.
Maybe.
And a nuclear asset. So
right. Yeah.
Well, they can't risk.
You put enough trons on something, it can be invisible.
Yeah, man.
In more embarrassing news, these dudes were cross country, and I guess the co-pilot said, "Whoops, play it, Doug." I didn't even know they had drag chutes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But this is like when you get the toilet paper stuck to your foot.
Yeah.
The co-pilot's like, hey, our fuel burn number is a little off. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's like,
bombs away. That's the Wizzo, number 4. I mean, it lands nicely on the field. They don't have to drive far to get it.
So do you guys use the chute every landing?
Most of the time. If we're light enough, below 250,000 pounds, we can land with a long enough runway without the chute. But 90% of the landings or more, we're going to use the drag chute. It saves on brakes and tires.
Noticeable difference.
Yeah. Yeah. When the chute comes out, you can definitely feel it slow down. It's a huge parachute.
Well, you probably got some drag on it right here.
Yeah. It's designed to rip apart at 135 knots for that instance right there.
Is that full flaps? Are those as far down as the flaps go, or is that just like
they are only up or down?
Really?
Yep.
Like Eagle Jet fighter pilot flaps.
800 square feet, and they're only up or down.
So this is down.
Flaps are down.
We're gonna say flaps down, drogue chute out.
Now this didn't happen at home station. I don't know if they were doing pattern work out there. That's a Louisiana Barksdale jet, but they were over Texas when they dropped it.
This was a spotter. The spotters found this footage. I guess they were. The original post probably has it, Doug.
It's a 300-pound parachute when it's packed up.
Did you get like a light when it's deployed?
Fort Worth.
No.
Nope. The handles, you move the handle back and you feel the chute come out. So either they saw that the handle got moved inadvertently, hopefully, or they felt the drag.
So probably not the first time this has happened.
No, it's not common, but
okay.
They said the chute is designed to tear apart and become a streamer so that it doesn't affect safety of flight.
Right.
I threw one out on a landing that was supposed to be a touch and go one time.
Really?
Yeah. To my defense, the pilot doing the touch and go briefed a full stop, and then at the last minute, it was when I was in training. At the last minute, he's like, "Let's do a touch and go," but my brain was already like the gears had already meshed on popping the chute out.
It looks a lot like DFW, but I think this might be Alliance. I don't know how much runway does this thing need?
Lots.
It's a 10,000 minimum, unless you wave it down.
10,000 minimum.
Oh,
wow. Wow.
And you always calculate the landing distance without the chute because the more commonly it's not going to deploy than accidentally deploy.
It doesn't have thrust reversers, right?
No.
So you just got brakes in this chute?
Yep.
Wow. Look at all the smoke.
Yeah.
There was, I don't know if this was the same story, but somebody told them they were leaking fuel because they saw all the smoke coming out of it. And they're like, no, that's just how it looks.
Yeah, it's just the buff.
SCUD, can you dump fuel the B-52?
Only through the engines.
That's it.
Speed brakes up, gear down, and add power.
Really? Okay. So there's no, wow. Okay, I mean, if you took off with a fuel load, can it land with a full fuel load?
You can land it heavyweight.
Okay.
It's not a structural issue if you land it right. It's a stopping issue. If you're heavyweight, you got to have a lot of runway
and a good shoot.
And yeah, like it's not uncommon to lose an engine because they're old. So like if you lose an engine, if that engine drives a generator, now you're down, or I'm sorry, a hydraulic pump, you might be down to 6 brakes instead of 8. And so now your landing distance is longer. So there's no rush. There's very few emergencies that you need to get on the ground right now. It's hours of burning gas before you land.
All right.
No, thank you. It's not.
Just padding the logbook for the resume. That's all it is.
Not in the brochure. Not for mover. Let's see. From the kids at home. Easy Googles. Thank you.
Thank you.
Turkey Intelligence Agency says in Grandpa Buff voice, give me makes an AIM 174 and stay out of my way for the next 30 years. Yeah. Kevin says, how is the low level in the 52? We used to have them fly over our place all the time. Also, did you still train with the blast curtains?
We do low level in it down to 500 feet. There's only one squadron that still does it down to 200 feet, which is insane because the wingspan's like 250. And it's a heavy plane to move around down low, and especially in the thick air. It's fun, but it's terrifying because it's a lot of plane to move. The blast curtains, the thermal curtains. Yep. We still have those installed, and we still train to it. If it's a nuclear alert launch, as soon as you're off the ground and the gear's up, you pull these cables, and these metal-ish shades cover all the windows. It's not for our eyes. We have weird goggles we wear, like welder's goggles. If the nuke flash goes off, it won't blind us. But the thermal curtains are to keep us from bursting into flames. Because if the nuke goes off close enough to you, the heat from the light can catch your flight suits on fire and your papers. So,
but the rest of the cockpit's okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, there are no other windows. Like we're the only ones with windows. So if we close ours, nobody else has to worry about the light.
Well, that'd suck if you're one of the Wizzos in the bottom. Like, oh, pilots just burst into flames.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. And they don't have the goggles to protect their eyes like we do. They have an eye patch because there is still a chance that light could get to them and blind them. So they have an eye patch they put on to save one eye.
Just one.
Yeah, you don't need depth perception.
They have bad eyes anyway. That's why they're in that seat. Like,
wow. So it's all like you take off, curtains down, whole flight's now instruments.
Yeah. And if it's real world, when the alarm goes off, you run out to the airplane in what you're wearing and take off. You have to have a change of uniform in the plane in case. So if it's no kidding real world, you could be sitting in a bath towel and nothing else while you take off.
Have you ever, like in training, have you ever just ran out in like your gym clothes because you were like?
I always slept in my uniform and kept my boots next to my bed, and I took really fast showers. I have seen people run out to the airplane in like gym shorts, but it's only, training. Wow. Yeah. Flip flops.
Oh, dear.
Crocs. Wow. Wolf Venn says, hey, Scud, are you familiar with the Habitual Line Crosser YouTube channel and his Grandpa Buff character? Somebody probably already asked you.
No, but now I'm going to write it down and go look at it.
Write that down. Sit ST6 orbiting 6 hours over Barksdale with gear and AV6 for a gen fail right after takeoff. Good times.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, dude. Wow.
Sigmund Markowski, late to the show, living that second responder life. God bless our firefighters. Mover, a great review of the Navy Blue today. Also, Tomcats. Yeah, we'll get to that, I think, probably in this one. In other news, well, they just don't know. So the NDAA came out, or at least what's proposed, and U.S. lawmakers approved 84% funding cuts to the U.S. Navy's FAXX 6th-gen fighter. As you know, I've been waiting impatiently for them to announce it so I can make a video on it, and they just never do. It says lawmakers in Washington are supporting a Trump administration plan to provide only minimal funding to the Navy's FA-XX 6th-gen fighter, instead favoring the Air Force's F-47, which we've talked about before on the show, Gonky, that they said they can't fund both. And so they haven't really picked a winner. Is this as far as we can read, Douglas?
Paywall. Yeah, we hit the paywall really quick on that one.
Yeah, okay.
I'll
Well,
look for another one if you want.
no, I mean, that's the bottom line on that is I think it's like pretty substantial funding cut. And the rumor, and I'm going to say this, it's rumor, right? I don't know anybody, not connected to anybody, just heard some things, is that part of this is because the Secretary of War or the Department of War is seeing a future where carrier aviation is not as big of a player. And they want to move towards smaller ships and fewer ships. Now, on the other side, I also, in the rumor department, heard that when President Trump saw this plan, he's like, where are the big ships? We need bigger ships, even bigger ships, which sounds exactly like something he would say. Huge ships. So, but the fact that they're cutting this, and a lot of people are arguing the Navy cannot survive without stepping into the 6th-gen realm, is indicative that that might be the overarching plan, which is to say that they believe that carrier aviation is dead. Gonky,
so silly.
Your thought, yeah, or SCUD, whoever wants to talk
Go ahead,
about
SCUD.
it, please.
Go ahead, man.
Tactically, I don't know what they're looking at to make those claims, but strategically, there are two things you can do to influence another nation without going kinetic, to influence international policy. And that is to fly a B-52 off their shoreline or to park a carrier strike group off their coast. Like it's a strategic messaging thing. Whether you think you need it, tactically or not having the ability to park a carrier strike group off somebody's coast to say, hey, you paying attention? Silly.
Yeah. I mean, of course I agree with SCUD. The thing is, we've talked about it before. Two things come to mind. Number one, dude, it's not always day one is not every day of a conflict or of a situation, right? So, I mean, we've talked about it before, man. There's a time and a place for, non 10th gen, whatever. Okay. So, and then also, dude, the Navy, I mean, I don't know how I've been out for a little while, but, even when I was in the Navy and the Marine Corps, pride themselves on doing more with less. And it wouldn't surprise me if they find a way, right? I mean, F-35 was delayed for so long and the Navy stayed relevant with Super Hornet upgrades and incorporating Growler, right? With the strike package. So, I mean, there's more than one ways to skin the cat, if you will, or to fight an air war or to project power. So it's just a matter of finding out how to do it. I mean, the news and everybody seems to think drone AI, CCAs, whatever is the future. And that might be the case, but in my limited experience, the Air Force fixes everything with dumping tons of money on it. And the the Navy and the Marine Corps mentality is more grit, the working man way. What does that look like? I don't know. Do I think we need the FA-XX? Yes. I think actually the Air Force needs the F-47 more, but it wouldn't surprise me if, we mentioned it before, if the F-47 is kind of like an F-4, right? It could be made carrier capable. So maybe be flying the same airplane or similar airplane. Let's just hope it doesn't take off vertically this time. But yeah, man, I'm still a believer in the Navy's can-do spirit, because I mean that's what we did. That's all we did is just, can you do it? Yes. Can you do it? Yes. Even if the answer probably should have been no. Yes. Right. So That's what I think. And mover like you mentioned, or the article mentioned. I mean, it's still very early in all this. Trump wants bigger ships, more planes.
It's the opposite, dude. We're late. Like they can't. If you're going to do it, you got to have done it already. This is the same argument we talk about with Canada. This is the same argument we talked about with Fat Amy. Like you cannot. You got to commit.
I know, but what I'm saying is, you're right. We're late on the actual airplanes, but in government planning process, like, I mean, there's no flying prototypes of the FAXX, right? So this is we're still trying to fund it, right?
Well, I think the thing you got to look at is our adversaries, because we cover our adversaries a lot on this show. Forget about Russia, because Russia's doing Russia things, but China has been moving forward with their carrier developments, going from diesel to nuclear powered, the electromagnetic, the cats, having 6th gen, or what they call 6th gen, that is carrier capable. Like they're not taking the foot off the accelerator pedal. And so if we're trying to avoid an arms race, maybe we're going a different direction. Maybe the future is drones. Maybe that's what they see. We don't see what they're seeing behind closed doors. But if our goal is to keep up, I think we have to keep funding these things and pushing forward.
Well, deep intel also may suggest that the reduction in funding is there maybe because the program's not quite mature enough for the levels of funding that they had originally planned for. So basically the program's behind, shocker. But yeah, dude, I mean, it's everything's kind of speculation at this point. I think we need the FAXX, but I don't know. I mean, like I said, dude, the Navy,
somebody's got to be a drone commander. Although now that the Navy has magic carpet, maybe they can start focusing on tactics.
We've always focused on so mover, dude. But this is the do more with less, right? So while we're focused on tactics, I'm also planning the Christmas party. You know,
now look how much time you're gonna have when you don't have a job.
Well, that's just it. I had, like, as a single seat fighter guy, I had like 6 jobs, and studying tactics, I did the best I could with the time I had. But that's back to my point of it's the can do attitude. We didn't have the luxury of locking ourselves in a skiff with nothing to do other than read books all day like that.
It's literally your only job.
No, it wasn't. It was not
break their things.
It wasn't our only job. So
that's why we're getting rid of the carrier aviation. As you just, I mean, hey, there it is. There's your answer.
Yeah, I don't see them getting rid of carrier. Now, the landscape of war, of course, is going to change, but I mean, for sure, dude, against, a worthy adversary, until things got a little secure in the airspace, I probably wouldn't want to be on a carrier, but like I said, it has its place, man.
Okay. I think we need it, and if we need it, we need it now. And if we don't need it, then we need to move on. Like you can't half-ass it, whole ass it, the whole thing. Gonky is now being jammed for his deep intel. Heat Seeking says, I once talked to a 52 pilot at a show in the early 2000s. He'd like to talk about how much everything flexed and groaned when in a thunderstorm. Dude, they could make a B-52 a hurricane hunter.
Yeah, no.
You could stay airborne for the entire life of the storm. Like from the time it's formed until
its birth till death.
Yeah, you could just fly around in the storm the whole time.
You see those wings flex in turbulence, and you'll understand why I say no to that.
It's design flex, though, right?
Oh.
I mean, it's
32 feet at the wingtip, up and down.
You got ejection seats.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, in a hurricane, them parachutes work great.
It'd be a fun ride. Wolven said, Venezuelan here. All that strategy that Scud mentioned sounds very familiar. Our carrier is called Puerto Rico. And the Marines are having, dude, how many strippers on the island of Puerto Rico have been impregnated at this point?
No, a lot of girls are going to college, man. Like,
How many have they? Steve says, Scud, mad props on knowing your aircraft. Spitting out specs like that is well-studied artisan.
Thank you.
yeah.
Passion.
Okay.
I love it.
Keith Seeking says, what's the difference in the response time of an FA-47 from a base versus an FA-XX from a carrier parked in the theater?
That depends.
What are you responding to?
Well, yeah, that depends.
What's the response time of the drone?
Yeah.
Our space lasers.
Yeah. Lasers.
The space nerd should know. You got a space thing. I mean, those tungsten rods.
When you're riding around for 44
rods from
hours,
God.
you got time. You got time to study this stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to have a hobby.
You
got to have a hobby up there.
Let me study this plane.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right, Gonky. So I covered this on my channel, and I think we were going to cover this together.
Oh, dude.
The Truman's House of Horrors. They had a rough go of it in the last year, starting with shooting down. Oh, the Gettysburg shot down one of their jets, and scroll down to the findings, Doug. They're in bullet point, or they're not. I guess it's a different article than what I said. So they had the friendly fire, and then they had the cable that snapped, and then they had the hard
tug.
turn. Yeah, brakes weren't set, and the tug went over the side
With the Hornet.
Yeah, it was a result of evasive maneuvers to an incoming ballistic missile. So 2 out of 3 were the result of incoming missiles, right? So I would call those forced errors by not China, not Russia, not any kind of superpower, but Houthis, like terrorists.
Right.
And the cable thing, yeah, the arresting wire, the number 4 malfunctioning sheave damper. But the report, if you look at it, because I did the deep dive on my channel, is pretty eye-opening, because from the Gettysburg side, they went into it. They were gun deck and quals. You know, they needed to have an oral board, so to speak, and they didn't. And the commander was like, I trust you. You're my guy. The simulations they were doing did not represent what they were doing in theater, which is pretty common, or people weren't even doing them, and they hadn't done one since August. This is December by the time this happened. They were, they had known malfunctions. They knew the IFF was broken or having problems. They knew Link 16 was broken or having problems. They were having PPLI problems. They weren't part of the comm network for the group. They weren't there on the briefing. They didn't have the mission materials. The poor girl that had to do this put a Frankenstein brief together, is what she called it, based on what she had gained from, the chats and stuff. So they didn't know the plan. And then in the fog of war, when they're getting attacked, they didn't really understand who was doing what. They had a total loss of situational awareness, and they were running this thing called command by negation, which is where they just keep saying, hey, we're going to do this. And if nobody says no, they just do it. It's not an order or anything like that. And so they had ordered all the fighters to come home. And then the Truman admiral had said, no, let's leave some out there for DCA, defensive counter air. Let's not bring everybody home. And that message, that communication didn't go through. Like, it went through, but nobody understood it. So the Gettysburg ended up shooting down the first aircraft, the tanker, 2-seat Super Hornet, shot a missile at the second one too, 5 miles in trail, because it matched a fast flyer like they were expecting for either the drones or the cruise missiles. And then tried to target a third one, but they killed the second missile. The first missile, they preemptively ejected, thankfully. The second missile they killed, and the third one they didn't. And then, oh, by the way, and this is something I had never heard from part of this, and I talk about it in my video, the actual Gettysburg had a helicopter landing on it when all this is happening, or they were trying to. And so they're doing an approach to land, and they're talking to the deck people saying, hey, the night Invis compatible lighting's out, which nothing works on this ship. Everything seems like it's broken. And the gun turns to go face the threat, turns right through them. They almost shoot them down there. And then when they go off to hold, the missile almost hits them. Like they're in a position where they could have been hit by the actual missile going after the two fighters, which they had no idea what was going on because they're not communicating. So we almost lost in this engagement 4 friendly aircraft, not just one, but 4 friendly aircraft were in danger because of this. And the end result was they allowed the commander of the Gettysburg to change command. He already had a scheduled change of command. They didn't fire him or anything like that. They just let him do his thing. And there was nothing else. Now, for these other 2, I didn't read that report because to me, it's really not as interesting. But it does show that we are so susceptible to forced error in the condition that we are in. I mean, we allowed this to happen to ourselves. It's an own goal. What do you think?
Go ahead, Scud. What do you think?
Well, a lot of these details I didn't know about. So I'm learning them right now as Mover talks about them.
You should watch.
I don't know if I want to call it complacency. Not maybe in the way the people are handling things, but trying to do less with more, maybe flying airplanes in a combat zone with no working IFF, and then, not having some sort of a contingency plan to make sure they get back safe. Is it complacency because we haven't been in a situation like this, so we don't imagine that we will? And when's the last time they really worried about having to shoot down one of their own planes? Is it just so far off the radar because, we've flown them out there without IFF before. They keep coming back fine. So we just ignore that threat.
Well, hold on now. They had IFF.
I thought you said there's something wrong with it.
The Gettysburg IFF system was down. So it wasn't interrogating. The jets had a handshake like they were sweet.
Same thing with that then. The Gettysburg IFF's not working. Hasn't caused any issues yet. So let's just press that. That's that's a level of complacency. Like that's a safeguard in not shooting down 1 to 4 of your own airplanes, right? So at what point, and it's combat ops, so you have to make do with what's going on, but at what point do you stop and go, recognize the issue and the threat and do something about it? I don't know.
Gonky, you are our resident seaman. Please tell us.
It's a great example. Remember I talked earlier about how do less with more, and we can do that. Yeah, we can do that when they should say no. Well, this is what can happen, right? If it gets too far. So, I mean, there's guys in the fleet that reach out to me. They're like, dude, we just need to bring all the boats home for a year and just stand down, fix all of our crap. Because, I mean, if you read through that article, it's pretty bad for a carrier strike group. The thing that, I mean, you mentioned a lot of it, Mover, the deficiencies. I don't want to, it's hard to say incompetence, but just the inability to do the job, basically, which might be incompetence, but
that's literally incompetence.
Yeah. Anyways, it bothers me a little bit that, Frosty, the skipper of the Truman, he's the only one to get fired in all of this, right? They let the Gettysburg CO peace out. What about the strike group commander? I mean, it was his strike group, dude. Like there were problems not isolated with just an aircraft carrier here, right? I get it. A couple of them were, but there's no, I don't know. Maybe there is disciplinary action going on. Maybe there are corrective actions.
That's true. It's not going to be public. Like, unless it's a relief of command, right. Disciplinary action is not public.
And not that, I don't have a dog in this fight. I want the U.S. Navy to be the best Navy in the world. And I still believe it is, but like, I just want those men and women to be the best and have the best. And you read that report and like the deficiencies in training, communicate, like basic stuff, dude. Like IFF in a combat situation, dude, that was a no-go. Like if you didn't have working mode 4, like 16 years, whenever I
Talk about mode 5.
Whatever it is, like, dude, like if your eye was no worky, it's like, dude, you're not. Sorry, bro. We'll try again, next time. We'll try to load the keys again, whatever. But that's really basic stuff. The whole idea, I didn't realize. This is the first time I heard about their own helicopter about getting schwacked. I mean, that is isolated, like that's one ship.
Yeah.
Right?
So I guess reading the report, there was a couple things. One, the guns are supposed to be stowed to a non-combat position when the helicopter's landing, right? Because it's landing on the back. And they didn't do that because they were engaging this threat. So they flagged the helicopter with the gun because they were turning it to face whatever they thought, as part of this entire thing, they were turning to face it. But the scary part is the missile, it bloomed he talks about it bloomed his night vision because he had no idea. He's just like, wave off, there's no warning.
There were a lot of aviators. There were a lot of aviators that night that were stunned at what happened. Right. Yeah. And that's a colossal fail, man. I mean,
well, and then, so we talked about this on the show too. Certain entities got a hold of the group chats, and that was part of the investigation too, is how it got leaked. And the one guy that's exonerated is the Wizzo because his phone got lost in the Red Sea. Actually, there's a whole line about, well, it wasn't him because his phone was departed. And, it created a spectacle.
Yeah. And I mean, you're right. It highlighted the inadequacies of basically the battle group defenses, right? I mean, what are you doing out there? And I mean, I don't know, man. The thing that gets me the most is, like I said, publicly, it looks like only one person took the fall. And like, when you look at that entire deployment, that performance of that battle group, like, I can't imagine, you're not going to sit there and tell me that it was the Truman exclusively. Sure. They're not, there's things to clean up there, but it's a team, right? You work together, right? I mean, it's wartime. Yeah, they were under attack, but I don't know, man. It definitely telegraphed some, an image that is not good for the U.S. Navy.
And they got lucky.
Very lucky, dude. Very lucky that they shot down one Super Hornet and not 3, or the helicopter. I mean, dude,
no loss of life.
No loss. Exactly. No loss. It could have been way, way worse. Right. So, so I don't know, man. I would like to think there's probably sweeping changes going on, especially in the Gettysburg for sure. And that entire community of, fleet defense, how they're going to do business. There has to be, I mean, like, Mover, there's a little tree of correlation you got to go through before you ever pull the trigger, because you want to make sure the bad guys are bad guys. And, people make mistakes.
And the report talks about that. I mean, how in their mind, right, that they had gone through that they, it matched the intel that they had on what was going on. It was, they had bad information, which sometimes is worse than no information, because the tracks were swapping. One of the things it also talked about, which was interesting, because as a fighter pilot, you think of this, right? You shoot the missile, you wait to see what happens, right? You wait for picture clean, vanish or whatever. They didn't. They just colored it red and kept going. Like, they assumed that this thing was a kill and moved on, which was not in accordance with their own SOPs. Like, they were just rolling. And I think it's because they were just so excited about what was happening. Gonky, are you getting deep intel right now? What is happening?
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
You checking your Tinder? What?
Just making sure Grandma's not coming back with the Oldsmobile. It's cold, dude. It's very cold out here.
All right.
No, but I mean, if the Gettysburg is having issues, the air wing should know about this, right? So imagine you're planning a real world combat strike, and the Gettysburg's like, think the air wing wants to know we can't read IFFs. I mean,
can they swap them out? Could they move the Gettysburg out to not be the?
Yes. I mean, probably not. Probably all the ships are overtasked, undermanned, right? Same story, no matter where you go. But, again, just communication within the battle group, dude. It's like,
yeah, you identify that as a threat, right? Hey, our IFF's not working. Okay, cool. So before you shoot, why don't you get confirmation from another ship's IFF? Just something to cover the threat that they fail to identify.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I mean, and like I mentioned earlier, is IFF a no-go, right? So, hey, guess what, Gettysburg, you don't participate if your little IFF reader machine no worky, right? So, I mean, dude, a lot of this stuff to me is like these are easy fixes that should have. I mean, it's hard to read because these are pretty JV mistakes, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. If they're not part of the net,
right?
Do you know the net they're talking about? E something.
I don't know, dude. I mean, dude. So I flew the oldest Hornets, and some of the stuff they wouldn't let us play because we couldn't get in the net, right? So I mean, yeah, I imagine now everybody's in, dude. The jets I flew are
not the jets, the boat
or the boats. Right. But I mean,
it's one of the oldest boats too. I mean, that's an old, 70s,
CEC.
80s era.
Do you know what the CEC network is?
I don't know.
It says they were out of the group CEC network during the engagement. The whole point of that is it enables every unit to have fused picture that includes their own and every other unit's sensor. IFF failure. This is from a comment. IFF failure would have been much less of an issue if they had that, unless the cruiser was the only ship emitting, which I doubt. The Houthis already knew their location, so there'd be no point to IMCON. So this is from a SWO that actually replied to my video, but they were out of the net that would have had the entire picture from everybody's sensors, and they weren't even on that. So they were relying on their own thing that was already broken.
Yeah.
And the other part too, I didn't talk about this in the video. The way their SOP read about the tilt of the radar, they had tilted it low because they were trying to get a bead on like the drones and all that stuff. Well, when you tilt it low, you get clutter. Everything becomes a track. And so they weren't even complying with their own SOPs, trying to became the system for this threat. And so, they can't distinguish, and then the IFF's not working. Like, it's so many different things that
that's what I'm saying, dude. It's like, it's hard to read because you just cannot believe the decisions that were made to lead up to that. I mean, recovery to a carrier is, I mean, dude, you check in with like Red Crown, which, you check in with the people that are defending the ship, right? I mean, and I'm sure there might have even been a profile, like, that they were flying. I mean,
the wingman was talking to approach control when he saw the lead blow up.
Yeah, and they, like I said, before they check in with approach, they check in with Red Crown, tell them where you're at, intentions, whatever, and that's supposed to be, hey, good, I'm friendly, here I am, squawking, talking, everyone's happy. Probably flying. I mean, they were, like I said, they were under
5,000 feet.
Well, and there was a series of Houthi attacks. So I'm sure they had some sort of profile they were supposed to fly, and all this, like I said, man, there's a lot of JV errors going on here that are pretty eye-opening. And I go back to they okay, we'll get rid of the Truman skipper, but there's a lot of other people, man. Maybe behind closed doors stuff's happening, but I don't know.
All right. Warhorse says there's still the remains of the Ramey AFB in Puerto Rico. We coast to use it as air station Borinquin. Okay. See? Kim One says, as vets who have served their time to our nation, if America faced World War III today, what rules, benefits would you want to help train the new recruits needed?
God, the battlefield landscape is changing so much. I don't know if I have anything that I can think of like that, especially when you look at what's going on with Ukraine and Russia. It's changing dramatically. Well, in light of what we just talked about, communicate, know when you are and when you are not supposed to do something.
Yeah, dude, you gotta, I mean, train like you fight, take it seriously. If stuff's not making sense, I mean, the SOPs, a lot of times SOP and, the way to do business is there for a reason. There is a time and a place for a little deviation to get stuff done. But man, when you start really making up your own stuff, stick to the training.
Yeah, you should have that little voice in the back of your head going, is this right?
Right.
You should listen to that.
How does this read in an accident investigation?
Oh, yeah.
Hawkeye says, wonder if the Hornet pilots thought about returning fire on the Gettysburg. No, they were in the chute. They would just be shooting with their 9mm.
Yeah,
popping off rounds.
They should have been on frequency with the Gettysburg. Like I said, checking in.
Thomas says, "Mover,
that was
did you
their
hear
correlation.
About the near midair with the tanker in commercial flight?" I did, and it was not a near midair. 5 miles is not a near midair. That is a bunch. We'll get to that. We might get to that.
Just keep it rolling.
Too many whiny airline pilots in this world. Steve says, "I want to see Mover after a Divo and department head tour in the Navy. He could do it, but he'd be different. Tell him Gonky, retired senior chief." I actually did department head. So
hey, senior.
I was the safety department head in the Navy.
Reserve squadron, dude. It's different.
Full time. I did it full time.
No, the reserve squadron is different.
Here we go. Gaslight me, Gonky. Downplay all of my accomplishments and achievements.
I'm not, dude.
Mister, all I know how to do is land.
I wasn't very good at that, so I don't like to claim that, Mover. Thank you.
Yeah. Are you finished texting, by the way? Have you, whatever it is, are you done? You're going to put your phone away so we can finish this show?
She said she's still waiting on the damn train, so
go on airplane mode and let us finish. Because I know you want to talk about the Chinese drone mothership that finally flew. In fact, you got this one, Gonky.
China, dude, I can't even. Hold on, let me put on my best. Make this bigger. China's flown the Chi-Tuan. Is that how you pronounce that, Doug?
I'm not Chinese.
The world's largest drone mothership, capable of carrying 6 tons of payload, including bombs, air-to-air, and anti-ship missiles, and deploying over 100 kamikaze drones. We have video. Doug, play it, please. There it is.
Well, sure, it is ugly.
This is the one that jettisons the drone sideways in the video.
It's like they're like, we're gonna make it a twin turboprop, and then they thought, no, we'll just put a jet.
Wait, stop it right here
on the roof,
or don't, whatever.
Yeah, that is
right.
That's an E2, and a Global Hawk had a baby, and it came out really ugly.
Yeah,
it's got like a little MX 11 or 15 pod on the nose, a little FLIR ball. The Chinese, this has been a trend, putting the top engine like from a KC-10, a centerline top engine. I mean, the J36 was like that, right? Well, didn't it have the 3 engines and one up top?
Well, the intakes are on the top. I think the engines are.
This one's all on top.
It is. It's like a. Yeah. So when I saw this, I was like, it looks like maybe they were a little confused on turboprop or jet, and then manned or unmanned, because looks like maybe there could be a canopy there if they needed it, but it's I actually looked for some video of it launching drones as a mothership. I couldn't find any, but
well, that's similar to the Global Hawk. The Global Hawk engine is more streamlined to the fuselage, but that's a very similar layout to what the Global Hawk has.
Yeah. So Mover, you mentioned it, right? Maybe is this the future of warfare, launching a bunch of these, and then it launches its own drones and goes in and smokes the bad guys? I don't know, but I would have liked to have seen it launch some drones as a mothership. But
stop it right there, Doug. If you go a little bit farther forward, you can actually see the panels.
Where?
They're like under the
right there. So you can see, if you watch the video, right, that's where the payload is. It's the side. And I'm not sure how that works with the Airstream, but in the video, it doesn't make any sense because they don't react to the Airstream. They go 90 out, which is not possible. So I don't know how that's going to work, but that's where they're keeping everything. They're keeping the little drones, 100 or 200 or whatever they said they could carry. Yeah, stop it right there. You can see the seams. You can see.
I mean, the door opens.
Yeah, it opens, and that's where they jettison out. And so you can get a drone swarm out of that.
That's where they're like, wait, it can't be a turboprop because we'll put the drones right. So we got to put an engine on the top of this thing, right? I don't know.
That's a good point. You don't want to ingest your own drones.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the gear looks like that they were going to mount engines there.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're poking a little bit of fun at it, but I mean, it's pretty cool. They have a drone mothership now. How effective it is, anybody's guess,
We've got a B-52 we could do all that with.
Dude, you could put like a million drones in a B-52. it's like you could have their own ecosystem in that thing, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. It can, I guess.
Yeah, look at the weapons, man. Cruise
missiles. So under wing. So it's going to carry them under wing and in the little cargo bay.
Yeah.
Unless that's AI, I make no guarantees.
Yeah,
those
imagine
like
the drones would be
children.
Imagine the drones would be internal, right? And then the weapons probably external.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the future of, is that a cover?
Where?
Like the cockpit. It looks like a cockpit cover.
That's what I'm saying. It looks like at some point, like this was a manned design, and then they're like,
That's probably the radar for the unmanned communications. It looks kind of like the same shape as the Global Hawk.
Yeah.
They just paint it funny.
Yeah.
I confuse the Westerners.
I'm confused.
We're very confused very easily. Yeah, well, cool. They let kids play with it, so it must be safe.
Yeah. I mean, as far as the nerd stuff goes, I don't know what it can do, but I mean, it's a cool idea.
Perfect. Excellent analysis, Gonky. Excellent. All right, so let's talk airliner nerd stuff. Today or yesterday or a couple days ago, JetBlue was pretty mad, and the media is calling this a near mid-air collision with an Air Force tanker. JetBlue flight from the small Caribbean nation of Curacao halted its ascent to avoid colliding with U.S. Air Force refueling tanker on Friday, and the pilot blamed the military plane. Do you have the audio, Doug?
I don't know. I'll look. Hang on.
It should be in that link that we were sent.
It's pretty mad, but they were going JetBlue 112 from Curacao to JFK.
No audio.
That's muted, Dan.
Sir, we just had traffic pass directly in front of us within 5 miles of us, maybe 2-3 miles, but it was air-to-air refueler from the United States Air Force, and he was at our altitude. We had to stop our climb.
Confirm the traffic was at your altitude.
They're heading off to the northeast right now. They passed directly in our flight path. We had to stop our climb. They are not painting. They don't have their transponder turned on. It's outrageous. Curacao, JetBlue 1112.
1112, go ahead.
Sir,
yeah, that's the end. So anyway, that was in the news. We obviously had that comment earlier asking about the close call or whatever. Gonky, Mr. Airline man.
Yeesh. Well, I'm outraged. Not really. Yeah, like you talked about, Mover, there's 5 miles, 2 miles, 3 miles. I mean, to me, that's not I think they're taking advantage of the headlines on this one. Not painting. It'd be nice if ATC could give them a courtesy call out, but dude, this is one of those ones I really don't think. I mean, they had to stop their climb, which, I mean, if they're co-altitude, when you just keep climbing, I mean,
Well, it doesn't say, did they get an RA?
Yeah, I was going to ask. I doubt it if the transponder was off on the tanker.
Right.
though.
right. That's why he said
You
it
can
was.
get
They
you
weren't.
can get off. Yeah, I was gonna
Right.
say. Well,
If that was
the
the
tanker
case.
was allegedly operating with due regard because they were doing, operations in the vicinity,
Mhm.
real world.
Mhm.
Although usually don't tank that high.
I was gonna say 30,
it's up there.
34,000 feet. Dude.
That would suck.
I mean, was there weather? What's going on here? Right?
They were looking for the cloud up in the bozosphere.
Yeah, you're in and out of burner.
Yeah, 280 was my limit.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know, man. Okay, he got startled because he saw another plane in front of him. I mean, I don't know. Scud, what do you think, man?
It's not a near miss. It's being sensationalized as a near
Right.
miss. It's not. But at the same time, I understand the frustration because if you're trying to haul a bunch of people and keep them safe, and you get visual on an airplane that's on a collision path with you, and you have to alter your flight path to miss it, I think the frustration from me would be, like somebody mentioned, why is there not a call out from ATC? Somebody's watching a radar that sees this plane out there. You could at least get a, like, hey, we got a contact, not squawking. We don't know their altitude. How many times do you hear that going into busy airspace, right? At least something.
Whoa. Think about the airspace now. We're not talking this was
Right.
It's
New
true.
York
It's
Center.
not. It's
this
not
is Curacao.
It's true.
This is a different part of the world.
That is true. So your expectations need to be tempered there. But nonetheless, I understand. I understand the frustration of having to alter your flight path when your number one job is to keep these people safe. And I don't know what it's like to operate down there. I don't operate down there. But from my perspective, flying the airlines, the biggest threat we face is running into another airplane. I mean, we saw what happened in DCA, and there were other near misses there, and we've all had to do RAs for that, rogue Cessna pilot that's crossing final when you're on approach or something like that. So I understand their frustration, but it's sensationalized. It's not a near miss.
It's like the Minot thing, the B-52 with the SkyWest guy.
Yeah.
And then you find the report and he was doing his own thing. Like he freaked out over the B-52 that was just flying straight and level, doing what they were supposed to be doing. And the SkyWest guy just wasn't, he was just off on his own, getting emotional. I think depending on airline pilots they all have their backgrounds, right? You have some that grew up street to seat. They just did CFI, got their time, did the regionals, did the major airline. Then you got the military pilots and stuff like that. When you get to stuff like this, it's often the straight civilian that has never been around another airplane, that doesn't know formation. They don't know mil sizing. They don't know, hey, if there's line of sight rates, line of sight movement, you're not going to hit it. If it's getting bigger and staying in one spot, that's your collision problem. And I don't know the background of these dudes. I'm just saying, you see a lot of people get more emotional when they don't understand what's going on. Mm-hmm. And then they react on the radio. And in 2025 and going into 2026, everybody's listening. So any little thing is going to get flagged, and it's going to be a news story, especially if you start throwing around words like, this is outrageous, and my heavens, and you start clutching your pearls. May not be what they meant to do, but dude, 5 miles is nothing. I mean, no big deal. Now, also, from what I understand, there may be some NOTAMs in this area for exactly this thing.
I was going to ask.
I was going to ask too.
Are there NOTAMs for these kinds of things? I mean,
I would imagine in the company pages. I haven't flown to Curacao in a while, but we do have some friends that fly out of there a lot, military side, and they've told us some stories. Because if you take off and just keep going, you're in Venezuelan airspace. Like you're right there. You're in a hot zone. And if your company pages aren't advising you that, there's going to be increased risk of military activity, that this sort of thing is possible, because guess what? The military is operating with due regard legally and they have a mission to do, and whether they were transiting or whatever, I don't know. I mean, this isn't New York Center or
Right.
over the the Rockies, and this is happening. This is happening in an area where this is expected. I mean, if you were off of Afghanistan in 2002, you probably face some very similar stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. You talked a little bit about the civilian pilots. I as a civilian pilot, I'm always uncomfortable if I'm not following a line. You know, whereas in the military we did a lot of let's just go over here and do our mission kind of thing, right? So I mean, I don't know. I think SCUD's right. It's sensationalized.
Yeah, and obviously a tanker is not going to be I don't know. I mean, could they have been squawking and it just not received? I mean,
They have chicks in tow.
it just says it's a tanker.
Oh,
Probably not at the 30s.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, if there's weather, maybe, but you're right. Probably not. I wouldn't want to be back there.
Maybe the Raptor nerds can do that, but those of us that actually carry the B word, we can't get up that high with everything on. It's a pain. It's not where you want to be. Yeah, rule number 1 though is sound cool on the radio. So if you're gonna do it, just don't sound like this. That's all I'm asking. Just take a deep breath. Say what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
But you sound like you're in traffic, dude. Like, just don't.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's good advice. Don't be emotional on the radio.
That's it. Don't be emotional on the radio. Even if it was like a mile, which by the way, RVSM, you pass 1,000 feet with other aircraft. So I mean, it's not like, okay, what are you used to? Let's say it was 1,000 feet. Gather yourself.
Right.
Key up the radio and sound as cool as you can.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be on the Mover and Gonky show.
We're going to talk about you.
Making friends and influencing.
That's funny, dude.
Yeah. We're going to end up on JetBlue's.
Yeah.
training.
No higher list.
Who cares? I wouldn't go there anyway.
I know. We need it.
Whatever. You can have it. Gonky? Mental health minute time?
Whatever, man.
I mean, we've been here a while. We're holding up our guest.
I'm good.
He's got stuff. So anyway, mental health minute for this week. We haven't done one in a while. I saw this song title called "Can't Break What's Already Been Broken," and actually it was a good song. But it's about, when you go through adversity, when stuff goes wrong, that's how you learn to appreciate the good times, right? If you had just good times all the time, you would never know. You'd never know the difference. You'd never be forged in the fire, because that's how you strengthen your character. That's how we get through life. I've talked about before some stuff that I've been through that was pretty rough. And on the other side, I became stronger for it. And it made me a better pilot, cop, IG, whatever job I'm doing. It made me better at it. It made me a better person. It gave me more resolve. And when I was in pilot training, I had this thing where I didn't want to fail a ride, right? I like, hey, I can't fail. But the reality is you need to fail. You need to go through these bad things. You need to go through the hard times. Number one, to appreciate the good times. But number two, that's the only way you get better. Because if you're not pushing yourself to the edge, if you're not failing every now and then, then you're not really living. You're not going through. You're just going through the motions. You're not actually a willing participant in this game called life. And so I know, Scud, I wanted to hand this off to you because you have a pretty big story of flying, and I don't want to take it from you if you're willing to tell it.
I don't mind telling it. Yeah.
Mental health and how you were forged by the fire and you got through it and became the pilot you are today.
Yeah. And just in aviation talk too, I would rather fly with a pilot who struggled and failed and learned from it than the pilot who's never struggled at all. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Their flying skills have been hardened by overcoming things. And that's what we do. Right. You don't get paid to fly. You get paid to know how to take care of the emergency. Anyways, on mental health note though, when I was in B-52 training, so out of UPT, just starting B-52 training, I had one sortie in the flight or in the actual aircraft when my life kind of fell apart. Marriage wasn't going well. And then I was living out of the house, but going back to my house to visit the kids while we were kind of taking time apart. And then I was on my way to go visit the kids and texted the wife and found out that she's like, well, they're not there. She packed up and moved out of state to go with her family, live with her family. And at that moment, like the world like collapsed in to the point where I realized I needed help. Like I was managing okay. I was keeping my head just above water until that happened. And then it was outside of my capability to handle it. So I did the thing that you don't do in the military and you don't do as a pilot. And I went and asked for help. So I went to mental health and said, I need help, and was diagnosed with depression and was put on medication to help me get my head back above water so that I could then start swimming. And that's what happened. So I was pulled from the flying roster. I was given a non-flying job for a few months. But in the end, that help I needed was there. The medicine helped get me to a point where that I could take care of my own mental health. I got off the medication, got myself feeling better, and the doctors gave me my medical back, put me back in the training program, and ended up going from asking for help. This is the end of my career. Like I'm just starting my flying career as a professional pilot in the military, and it's now over. And I don't have any other option. It's that or continue to fall into despair. And so I had to make the hard choice and go, well, this is probably the end of my career. But the reality was that the help got me where I needed to be. And then I got to fly B-52s, T-38s and T-1s and fly for the airlines. And I have a great life that I wouldn't have if I didn't ask for help. I know that's difficult in the civilian flying world, especially with mental health being such a taboo subject, but they're looking at reevaluating that, and hopefully they do something good with it, because you got to ask for the help and get yourself better so that you can be who you need to be.
Awesome.
Gonky?
It's an awesome story, man. I don't have a whole lot to add from that, but I'll just say that, I mean, SCUD, that's pretty courageous, right? Because obviously you worked so hard for this military flying career and believing it was going to end, but you did the right thing. So that's a good story, and do the right thing, right? Do the right thing. And, you know, it's nice to hear that you were able to overcome that and have a successful flying career. And I'll just echo what you guys both said about, you know, there's growth in the struggle. I remember they were trying to recruit, for whatever reason, guys and gals coming out of the then T-34 were not putting down jets. So I flew a T-45 of one of my first flights. We flew a T-45 to Corpus to show it off, to try to entice people to put jets as number one. And I remember this one kid coming up to me and says, you know, everything's always come so easy for me, but this flying thing is really difficult. Does it stay this hard? Is it this hard in the jet? And I just remember thinking like, yeah, it's harder. Right. So I think people who everything, you know, things come easy. Like you're saying, SCUD, they never get that hardness, that toughness that's required when you don't know really what's going on. And you don't have all the answers. You need to be able to keep it together. And I think, failures and struggles build that through, you know, through time. And I think that's the basis of, you know, your old guy with a ton of experience, because he's probably faced a lot of that. Doug?
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say beyond that, because you guys did a really good job of covering it. I'm going to highlight, though, that what SCUD said, that probably one of the hardest pieces of it was asking for help and knowing the consequences and the perceptions that other people are going to have, and all the things that asking for help could mean other than it's going to be help. and people need to figure a way to get past that to make the first step.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, and JD, as always, asks in our ads, it is hard to fail, but it's worse never to have tried to succeed. Theodore Roosevelt. Yeah, good stuff. Well, that's our show.
That is our show. Next time I won't be here.
No, and next time I won't be here.
He'll be moved to another discreet location.
We're gonna swap. Mover's gonna be in his.
Yeah. I
Be
go
in
to
the
witness protection. Gonky leaves witness protection.
We got to keep the feds guessing, dude.
Yeah,
We can't.
we both we flippy flop, and then that is season 6, episode 9.
Might be 8 Bravo, dude.
Nah, dude, it's 9. We end up stopped at 9.
If you believe the numbers, this is the second to the last show.
It's been a good run. It's been a good run, dude.
Penny flight.
On our terms, finally.
Well, we still have time, Gonky.
That's true. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Scud,
Thank you, man.
That was a pleasure being here.
are you this good on your podcast? Is that why this is?
I hope so. I don't know.
I think so.
I need to point out something because we're going to have to invite Scud back
Yeah.
because we never learned his call sign story.
Is it an acronym?
It is.
Can you tell us?
I can. You want me to tell you now, or you want to have
Yeah,
me
tell
back
us.
on?
Do
All right.
it. We got time.
It actually relates to just something you just said there. So my past as an OSI agent, that came with me through all of my flying. I had friends that I went through UPT with, that I went through OTS with, UPT with, and went through B-52 training with. So they never let me hide that or live it down. But they like flying with me, but I'm still undercover. So it stands for Stellar Crew Dog Undercover Dick. And on that note, that's the whole reason I'm on the podcast, right? It's not because I flew, it's because the feds have hired me to be here. But you guys just don't know that.
See, Gonky, he's here to find out where your disclosed location is.
Yeah.
We bamboozled him. Moose and squirrel.
Hey, it happens. See, now Scud can tell his superiors they literally know nothing.
You guys don't have to worry about these guys.
Yeah,
I
these guys
told them the
are
truth and they
idiots.
didn't believe it.
Right.
Yeah,
These dudes are clueless, man.
yeah. They actually are good for us.
Right. Right.
Well, and to the kids at home, hold on.
Oh,
District Under Oak says, I hopped in about to send a dirty comment, then realized we were being serious and working on it.
it happens.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, thanks, Scud. And
Yeah, man. Thank you.
thank you for your undercover nature and not putting us in handcuffs until later.
That'll be a whole nother episode.
Whatever. Yeah, so it's on the other channel.
Thanks,
Join us next week. Check out the High Alpha Hooligans.
Yep.
Where Scud talks about digital combat simulator. And then join us for the We Don't Want Kids to Be Sick Dogfight Brothers Invitational 2025 benefiting St. Jude's. And it's the live, it's the telethon part, the live stream. That's what benefits the St.
It's free. Just
It's
small
free to sign up.
donation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sign up for free, small donation.
Yeah.
Have some laughs.
I'll figure it out from the hotel. All right. Good night, everybody. Is it Merry Christmas yet?
Not
we got
yet,
one more.
dude.
One more. Okay. Good night, everybody. See you
Good night,
later.
folks.
Thanks, God. See ya.